Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's official coverage of Rain Light Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6 here for round 2, Brands Hatch. All this proudly brought to you by Simblacks, CROSSCUT, WOODWORKS, Carpentary and Joinery, True to Life Racing Designs, and of course Crossy 43 and Hendo, as well as Matchfit Entertainment bringing you the broadcast. I'm Dava, J-Man by my side. How you doing tonight, mate?
Good, mate. Evening, everybody. Looking forward to tonight, and thank you to our good sponsors that help make all this good stuff happen. But definitely looking forward to what is effectively round 2, Brands Hatch, and lots of water, Davo.
Yes, pre-race practice persisting down.
Yeah.
So,
Consistently said greasy, but I don't know what there constitutes grease, but looked much like ice to me. But nonetheless,
we
they were dealing with it very well.
We are at Brands. We are in the UK here, so not unexpected, J-Man. Not unexpected at all. Brands Hatch, great track, races really well, J-Man. We've got a good, solid field here tonight. I think we've got, was it 25 or 6 drivers in a good, solid, healthy field with some great custom skins at J-Man. But you look, like I said, Brands, really good racing track. Throw a bit of water in and, oh, damn, we're going to have a broadcast on our hands, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think if all going well, we should have 26. I think Maddie T just maybe having a little bit of techie issues late in the piece there, which would be a real shame if she can't sort that. Hopefully she can, because she was right up there in official practice in the wet, very, very comfortably up there challenging Maverick and usual hitters going to probably front up. However, that being said, the wet always brings out something a little special inside the sim racing communities. We've seen it before. Even the good guys can grab a little bit too much ripple, strip or curb or something like that in the wet, and it doesn't take much. And when you're talking about corners here, like high risk corners at Brand Hatch, and the first one that comes to mention is probably turn 1 Paddock Hill Bend.
Straight away.
Probably the most dangerous on the circuit that we'll see consistently. We'll probably talk about it tonight. Will be up there at Sheen Curve at the back sector of the track. And that one there is a very high speed blind right hand over the crest. And that'll be one that, everyone probably in the field here is aware of tonight. It can be tricky in the dry, let alone the wet. So, yeah, a lot of things cool out there tonight as far as what we're about to see. And we're still in the feeling out process. I mean, we often talk about the usual suspects and the big hitters, as far as qualifying and stuff is concerned. But this will be the night where we are likely going to see potentially AMs mixing with pro-ams or pros mixing with pro-ams.
I would say definitely. I think we're going to only got 2 AM drivers in the server at the moment, J-Man, so they'll sneak them in. So there'll be 2 15-minute sessions over the half an hour with the pro-am and the AM boys and or girls running out first. J-Man, look, this will be good. This is only the second round of what have we got? 10 rounds here in season 6 for Rain Light Racing's GT3 series. Barcelona we had last week. Awesome race. Brands, I suspect, is going to deliver equally as much for a 90-minute race. We've got Silverstone next week, Snetterton, Donington, Alton Park, Kyalami, Spa, Mount Panorama, Imola. We've got all the good stuff, all the goods, and obviously all brought to you by Simblacks and the like. J-Man, these guys have got some prizes on offer here with Simblacks on board for season 6 as well. Obviously, the wheel giveaway, the GT Neo at the end of the season, which they do spin a wheel for, ladies and gentlemen, so anybody can win that. And obviously, they're giving away $50 Prezi prize cards every round. So definitely worth getting involved. Sign up. It's only round 2. We will be spinning the wheel live tonight, J-Man and myself. And
grease the bearings earlier, mate. This should be good to go.
very nice. Yeah, we had a couple of practice runs. But yes, so plenty to play for. Get involved. There's plenty going on, and thank you very much, Sim Blacks, as well as all of the other sponsors on board, J-Man. Boys still in driver brief, so they're giving them a good talking to. They're laying it down the rules very carefully. We could probably look at some points just quickly after round one. I mean, obviously only one round in, not too much to speak of. It is pretty well just finishing in positions from round one. But yeah, any notable mentions there, J-Man? It looks like the usual suspects to me.
Yeah, I think probably no surprises seeing Phil Antoon up the top, aka Maverick. He's proven season after season that he's always going to be a contender. I think it's nice to see the likes of Brandon Webley and Prune Tracy, aka Gaz Eddy, up there challenging as well, and certainly Maddie T expected to be there. We've seen the performances that she's been putting in, but for me, Hendo with a great performance in round one for a top five. Costas Makrolos was really punching well at the start of that one, but sort of went away a little bit in the mid phase of that race. We saw some incidents down at the one of the chicanes, and Costas sort of went backwards. However, did make his way back forward. But the drive of the night, I think, just on outright performance, was after what was, by his standards, probably a poor qualifying. Steve Crossan finished off in 7th, and that was a great battle. But also Jordan Moss, the 777 car, he's currently 15th. Really battled hard. He had a big repair job going on the pits that race, and that really took him out of contentions for anything that was realistically looking inside the 10. I think the car had definite top 10 or even top 8 pace in it, but yeah, unfortunate unscheduled pit stop to repair some damage really cost him bad. Shane Fodado, okay, not there that round, so he is back. Damien Jones and Louis Van der Vende there. So Damien Jones, I would have expected to have actually completed that one, so I'm not sure what happened there. But
yeah, I think there was some issue right at the end there. That car pulled up, I think, just shy of the line after what was a cracking race from Damien, actually, J-Man.
Yeah, but one to watch tonight that's well down the list at the moment as far as championship contention, as far as his finishing position out of race and round one, would be Pete Dawson, currently sitting P20th in that newly appointed Bentley for the season. Expect him to finish a lot better than P20 tonight in this situation. So yeah, like you say, 10 rounds to shake out, and
yep.
Yeah, I think, albeit there's some predictable stuff at the top end, there's some stuff in the middle of that list that you just had highlighted there earlier that I think is certainly going to change in the next 2 rounds. So
definitely, J-Man.
Looking forward to it.
Definitely looking forward to it. And if we see more rain like we are seeing now in qualifying, there's going to be some mix-ups here tonight. So yeah, that leaderboard could change dramatically.
Yeah, looking for Gunther Rowe to top the table here in the early phases. Also, we saw last week it was Gunther Rowe, and I think the other driver out was really quick in the Pro-Am was, am I correct in saying it was Kenneth Worcester? Or hang on, who was it last week? There was two Pro-Ams that really stayed well inside the top 10 out of the qualifying last week. I'll tell you in a second. So definitely Gunther Rowe. I expect to bank a very good time here. Okay, sorry, it was Jacob Wadsworth last week, qualified incredibly well as well. So
yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So watch that space.
Yep.
Actually, I think he stayed in the top 10 after the qualifying, or very close to J-Man from Wadsworth. Also in one of the Mustangs, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh no, I've got him here. It might not have been Wadsworth. Worcester we were talking about. Yes, in the Mustang.
Okay, so just getting a message there from Gazzetti, just saying if you see a qualifier P15, that he's obviously not comfy here. Whether that's the track or the rain, I'm not sure, but not sure if I'm convinced, to be honest. We know how quickly Gazzetti could get his head around these cars, so straight away 24.9 for Tony Spence as a banker. Not a terrible lap, to be honest. It's pretty reasonable.
Oh, definitely, J-Man.
I think anything in the fours for this phase of qualifying is pretty good. We saw, obviously, the previous session, we saw some of our big guns hitting, I think, a 23.7, so 24.9.
Yeah, that's quick, isn't it? And
not a bad lap.
On a wet track too, mind you, J-Man, so...
Good to see you back, Matt Dayton. Obviously change of manufacturer, mate. Just having a chat to you, Matt Dayton, in the chat box there. So don't be shy, guys, girls. If you do want to communicate with the broadcast team, the chat box is there. By all means, fire us a question or drop us a comment. We don't mind.
Yeah, fire it up. Fire it up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, guys, if you haven't already. And, yeah, kick back, go and grab a drink. And plenty of racing to come tonight here. 90-minute single race, J-Man, compulsory pit stop.
I've got to stop getting sidetracked. I love it. Tonight's greasy conditions are brought by Firthy's Burgers. They're thick and they're greasy. Yep, it's true that. Now it sounds like Gazzetti does like the rain, so maybe it's not the track so much, but doesn't mind the rain. So yeah, these guys just probably tuning in and having a look at these conditions out there too, and seeing that first time banked by one of the Pro-Am drivers is actually a 24.9. So probably won't be a lot of excuses out there, boys. 24.9 as a banker is not bad.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, J-Man.
Trying to look at the deltas here on.
So just, yeah, I've got Craig McConnell up on his time. That would get him close to Daniel. It's Daniel Kim, isn't it? J-Man, but I don't think he will get him. Harrison Bella on a hot lap here, which could see him in front of Spence here, J-Man, provisionally.
Yeah, a little bit wide on the final turn. G'day, Ashton Hughes. Ashton, who's not on the Aston anymore.
No, thankfully. As we focus on Bella, well up on his Delta, J-Man, I've got him at a little over half a second up on his current best time, which would easily put him in front of Spence in the 420 McLaren as he cut rounds down in through the final corner.
Yeah, looking good, looking good. G'day, Slambo. Good to see you tuning in, bud. Looks strong in official practice. Now, what did Bella just run? A 24.7.
24.7.
Pretty good lap. Backs it into turn one, puts it in the wall. Panels are no problem for the JB Weld team. They'll just get a couple of tubes out.
And she'll be good to go for the, for the race. Craig McConnell also showing some pace on his Delta and could see him easily sneak down or up a position there, down a position into second. So,
yeah,
penultimate corner there, J-Man, before the run under the bridge and into this final turn for the frog green. Fantastic looking Mustang. Actually, all the Mustangs look really good, J-Man. A great addition to the lineup, the new GT3 Mustang. And there it is, Craig McConnell, second position, pipping Spence. So Spence going backwards there over the last couple of minutes. There is still, what have we got, a little over 6 minutes to go in this first qualifying session for the AM and Pro-Am boys in what is a very wet looking Brands Hatch here tonight, J-Man.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Craig McConnell well up on this lap, currently in there on a 24.837 and got just under half a second. Where is he? Sorry. Where is he? Okay, so he's just come up through Clark Curve, just dropping down now through Dingledale, heading up to Sheen Curve. Now this will be a trouble spot tonight. Just if you just drop a left wheel a little bit too far out there.
So easy, J-Man.
Yeah, and then the utilisation of that camber down through
the left
down
hander
through
there.
Surtees, through Surtees at the left hander is really critical to the run on that little Cooper straight before on the clearway. Sorry.
So McConnell to the top spot provisionally there, cracking lap with a 24.4. J-Man turns it around in jubilation. Spence also snuck back up in front of Bella and is terribly wide there.
Yeah, he is.
Gathers it up.
The closest margin.
He's just bled off all that pace he had, J-Man. Still very close to bettering his lap, but in the red now. Good work to get that back together. Fantastic looking McLaren, that 420 car as well, J-Man.
Yeah, don't ride off Harrison Bella as well. He was up a couple of tenths. He's just dropped a tenth and a half, but what can he build as he now comes up through?
Spence will have this, J-Man, even with the slip up. We've also
24.3.
Daniel Kim too, one to watch out for. He could, if he keeps this momentum, pip Bella. And Gunther Rowe back out on track, J-Man as well. And look, he's nearly a second up on his Delta. With his fastest as a 25.2, that would put him in a 24.2. That could put him on the top spot.
Yeah, and like I said, I called it at the top end of this start of this qualifying that I thought Gunther Rowe would go to the top. I sort of probably called him out there and just thought based on what I saw earlier and then potential of what I saw the qualifying from that Mustang last week at the hands of Gunther Rowe.
What's Daniel Kim here, J-Man? I think this will put him on the podium provisionally. No,
he's quite close.
But Gunther Rowe back to this Mustang. Another fantastically painted Mustang, J-Man. Gunther Rowe, the Guerrilla Racing entry here.
And he's carrying that 9.5.
Look at that momentum. What's this? 10. What's this? Bam, there you go, with a 24.2. Wow.
What have we got on the clock, boys? Still got a few minutes to go for these ones.
Kramer up on his time, but well down the order. He might sneak in front of Nightingale, maybe not.
Oh, stop it, Stu, with a hook tour. It might end up making you TikTok famous, that, mate. You be careful with that one.
just don't.
Yeah. It's early. Come on, Stewie, mate. Let's leave that till after. What's the time? It's
quarter to 9. This is meant to be kid-friendly here. G-rated, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Look, these are impressive. 24.2. Now, like I mentioned, we saw some of the really, really quick lap times coming through at high 23s. Now, those of you pros that are tuning, I know you're getting ready to fire these cars up and go out, but what's the chances that we're going to see some of these guys well and truly inside the 10?
Yeah, well, too true. I mean, that time from Rowe there, that is nothing to sneeze at, James. Well worthy of being in the top 10, if not higher, easily. I think we saw two drivers in the 23s, but most of the boys were doing, we're doing low 24s like these guys. So yeah, it will be interesting. What's a couple more minutes to go here in qualifying as we see a few boys rolling out of the pits there, just trying to get that last shot at it, J-Man.
Yeah, Tony Spence isn't giving this away yet either. G'day, JB. Good to see you tuning in, mate. You enjoy the stream?
So, yeah, Spence in that fantastic looking Macca there, Jay. Louis Van Venter with the change of cars in the now in the BMW, the 99 BMW. He's a little bit up on his delta. He's just about to better his time here too, I suspect. Yeah. So the guys at the top row and Spence still going at it. McConnell in the, he's had enough. He thinks he's got it. He's given it his all. We have got cameras on the JB Weld Mercedes of Harrison Bella coming around the back section of this very technical part of the track here. The blind cresting right-handers and then into this
cycle. This could be a cycle lap, I think, mate. And
well, he's still got time.
Yeah, he's still got 40-odd seconds as he approaches this last Clark curve to come onto the Brabham straight with one more go at it with around 30-odd seconds by the time he crosses the line, and he runs it really, really shallow. So here we go, Harrison Bella and the JB Weld Big Bonnet Mercedes. Can he hook this last lap up and challenge those top three spots?
And that's Spence actually just in front of him there as a carrot as well, because as Spence no slouch and just up or down on his times a little bit. So
yeah, a little bit further up the road, Wadsworth out there. Oh, he runs incredibly wide and gets a track cut. Look like he's just pulled out of that lap too. Louis Van Venter just gone way southward around the back end of the lap. He's going to call it a night for his qualifying. However, Harrison Bella, 10th and a half through sector 1.
Is it enough?
Approaches sector 2. Got Tony Spence. He was well wide. And that'll be all she wrote there. So I think that will be your provisional top 3 until the Pro Class roll out, which they'll be doing around about now.
Right now, as we just pick up on Mav in the number 3 Red Bull Honda. Gunter Rowe, Tony Spence, Craig McConnell, Harrison Bella, Daniel Kim, Jacob Wadsworth, Kenneth Worcester, Louis Van Der Venter, Josh Nightingale, Adrian Kramer. Oh, first to 10th there provisionally now with the Pro Class out. J-Man, but some really handy times there, particularly from Gunther Rowe and Spence, and Craig McConnell, really. So that top 3, you know, some of those boys could still find themselves in the top 10. J-Man.
Yeah, and look, you know, albeit we probably expect Maverick and the likes of Webley to try and punch some good laps, and there's still some threatening, you know, Matty T, very, very quick on that practice session. We saw Matty Dayton really starting to get a handle on that McLaren at the back end of that last session. We saw him multiple times absolutely blow the apex at turn 1, but he sorted it out and started moving forward on the totem pole there. Also, Jordan Moss, what can he do? Steve Crossland, he'll be asking for so much more better qualifying out of himself for Q1 and round 2. Shane Fodado, he's first time out here for him. He's in the McLaren, so different manufacturers. Normally a guy we see consistently throughout the seasons in something wacky and normally sideways.
Always sideways, J-Man. Always sideways. and tonight, I'm sure we'll see it well sideways again as we have cameras on Webley in the Mustang. Just wrestling that car up to Surtees there.
Yeah, I had a look at the speed trap earlier. Webley was one of the guys. The Mustang was definitely one of the cars that was well up there. That and a couple of Aston Martins that were up there as high as 247 k an hour. Incredibly sideways as he drops down through Dingle Dell. But 247 versus somebody like Maverick, who was only extracting about 242 k an hour out of that Honda. So.
Yeah. What it lacks in a straight line, it definitely makes up for in the corners if you can, you know, manage it. Like it's a tricky car to drive from what I hear, but you know, if you can manage the way it wants to work, it is quite a quick car. It doesn't get a lot of love, does it?
So Matt Dayton, straight away, banks a 24.6 to go P4 over
Very
the line
nice. Very
of
nice.
Macrolos on
Macrolos.
a 25 flat.
Yep.
Matty T to the top on a 24.1. So what did we see out of Maverick, that first one?
I think it might have been, I don't think it registered.
It did not register, and yeah. So, I mean, we saw this last week, some of the big hitters taking a little bit of time to get a time in. So Matt Dayton with a good one there. Matty T with a brilliant lap on that 24.1. However, I do think we will drop into the 23s out there tonight in this second phase of this qualifying. 15 degrees ambient, 10 degrees track. Kind of reminiscent of what we saw in the official practice session. So tyre pressures, you would expect that all these guys and girls at the top of the game will have these things dialed for these conditions.
You would expect so, J-Man, as we just watch Mav across the line.
Yeah.
Puts it on the top
Tracy
spot.
Here. Maverick, 23.9. Where did Gazzetti, aka Prune Tracy, 24.9.
Eyes on Fotado as well, just coming across the line. J-Man in the OES car there.
Yep, where does that put Shano?
Oh, that must have been... that lap didn't qualify either, so he stayed down 17th.
Okay, we've had some more movement. Who is that?
Remember Dayton back on board as well this week, J-Man.
Dixon into P9, knocks Prune Tracy down a spot. So at the moment, Gunther Rowe, Tony Spence, Craig McConnell, those laps are holding firm, third, fourth and fifth at the moment. So very good laps early.
A couple of the top guns, like you mentioned, J-Man, struggling with conditions, you know, Macrolos, Webley, all down out of the top 10 still. Still plenty of time to go though, over London 9.5 minutes. Crossland also down. We would expect to see him, Henderson and Firth up a little bit higher. These boys, like you mentioned, struggling with the conditions and just not able to get those bankers in, you know, which is so important, aren't they, in the early stages of the qualifying?
Yeah, so the BOP hard at play here too, but I've just personally got my eyes on 54 car, the Bentley of Pete Dawson. Probably give him a bit of a shout out early, expecting some slightly better things out of him. He's hovering around a 7/10 of a second up on his lap, 6.5 to 7/10, currently on a 26.7. Now that would bring him towards 25 flat. Now 25 flat would still put you somewhere around 14th, 15th.
Yeah. As he just rounds the final corner, I think.
Or he just made a heap of time into the final turn.
Pretty sure that's Firth. He just tucked in behind him there as well.
Yeah, there's a greasy burger right in there with him. So where did that do? Pete Dawson takes him to, okay, so 25.6. Something's gone astray there.
Okay, so that's an unclassified lap. Clearly, J-Man. Who's that? That is Steve Crossland. Just tucked in behind. Yes, up into P7 in the Simblacks Honda.
Yeah, one of our naming right sponsors there, rocking the yellow and black out there, doing a great job, doing a far better job than we saw last week. So currently P7.
Yeah, I think he started last week in about 15th or something, J-Man. He was well down the order, wasn't he?
May have even been 16th, mate. Yep. So Maverick and Maddie still out there trading, but Mav changed the benchmark, best lap of a 23.6. So that would be about a 10th better than we saw in the official practice time. So Mav stepped it up a notch for the official qualifying, as you'd expect, Davo.
As you would expect, J-Man. Totally agree.
Crossy on a better lap too, half a second up. Where is he? He is approaching
the final corner.
Curve, heading onto the Brabham Straight. He's going to carry this margins, round 3.5.
That'll put him down into. That'll put him in the top 3. Yes, it has.
Yeah, so it knocks his old sparring partner Gunther Rowe out of the podium, but he will share the second row provisionally with Gunther. Matty Dayton to P5 knocks Tony Spencer, Craig McConnell down a notch as well, but they're still very, very good laps, 6th and 7th for those Pro-Am drivers.
Oh,
Actually,
absolutely.
P6
Well,
to P10.
Gunther's still in 4th, J-Man. So, that's impressive stuff. Really had that Mustang dialed in there in that first session. Crossland, again, up on his time in the Honda. So, really getting a wriggle along now. Tyres are cycled up. So, we'll keep an eye on that. Mav responding.
Oh, that was Will Dixon losing it. Now, where was that? Okay, so that was at the infamous Sheen curve, which I mentioned. So losing it between Sheen and Sterling's in the 997 Aston Martin. Now, Hemi Bateman we saw with a strong performance last week. Where is he at the moment? Okay, he's 24th at the moment. Still 5.5 minutes left to go in the session.
So, yeah, Bateman struggling with the 426 McLaren there, J-Man. Not, again, like we see a few of these drivers just struggling to get those bankers in, mate. And it's really hurting them. Who it is good for is a couple of these Pro-Am boys that really made a showing in the first session. And they are still easily holding their top 10 positions at the moment, previously in qualifying. So
Webley on a number that would see him go to the front row, Dave, if he can carry this through.
Webley well down, but into the final corner now. He's currently holding 10th position provisionally. Definitely on a hottie. This would put him on the podium, J-Man.
Good number. There's a good number coming. 24-1.
Oh, there it is.
24-0.
Pushing Matty T down out of off the front row. And Crossland out of the top 3, J-Man Road.
Dayton pips Matty down a spot. Dayton in there on a 24-0 now.
Well, I both thought that was coming as we just watched Webley up on his time. Still very early stage of the lap, still in sector 1 here, J-Man. But very loose and quick. The car is a good 10th or more up on its delta already as it moves into the second sector.
4 or so names down in the mid to the back end of the teams, which I wasn't expecting. Macrolos, Fodado, Firth, Henderson, not cars I would have expected to see outside the 10 right now, but they are all up on their deltas, but they'll need more. They'll need plenty more. Where is Shane Fodado? Okay, so he's coming round the Clark curve now onto the Brabham straight. What's he got in his hand? He's got 3.5 tenths. This will be a good improvement. This will see him go inside the 10, I believe. Goes to P9 on a 24.690. Macrolos.
Matty T also up on her delta. J-Man has been pushed out of the top 3 by Dayton's time there.
Yep.
Dayton now in the pits, and she is up on the deltas. She looks like definitely carrying enough pace and time there to put herself back at least a position up into 3rd here.
Yeah, she's coming.
Second.
Goes P2, 23.795. That was close enough to rival. She pulled off with 2 minutes 58 to go. I would have stayed in it, Maddie.
But yeah, back on the front row, J-Man. So nice work. Mav stays out. Damn, he's quick through here.
He's lost it. So
he's...
he gathers it up.
That's enough for that lap. Macrolos just starting a lap as well. J-Man, Steve Crossland.
Same with Crossland, yep.
Crossland in the Simblacks car also starting another lap. So still, 2.5 minutes odd left to go here.
Oh, Crossy's butchered that one.
Macrolos still up on his delta, so he'd want to just be able to sneak past that as quick and as best as possible. Fodado showing some promise on the deltas as well, but still well down. Fodado actually slipping in the top 10 there, J-Man.
Yeah, good effort. He's actually pressed on with it, mate.
Yeah, he has.
This one's gone.
There it is. So clearly pushing hard. Dayton
Yep.
back out on track as well, J-Man. And
Okay.
again, pushing hard. We're seeing the mistake. They're
Yeah,
really
look.
pushing to the limits here. That's Makalos back in the pit. We'll go back to the Simblacks car, J-Man. I think Crossy has got more in that Honda.
Yeah, he's still got time. I mean, this lap's done. This lap is all over. However, he is coming up to Clark Curve now, so the final turn. He's going to get to start the lap with around about a minute 5 or so, maybe a minute 10 left. So plenty of time. This will be his last lap, so he's going to have to make it count. Gets turn 1 beautifully, makes the apex. They're always so hard to get there. Comes up to Druids now.
Oh, yeah, and even harder in these sort of conditions. Hey, J-Man, Mav's still out on track and a quarter of a second up on his Delta.
Yep. Yeah, he's well up. Drops down Graham Hill bend there, heading towards Surtees is Steve Crosslin and the Simblacks Honda.
And
Another one.
Looking tidy through Sector 1 there, J-Man, as he runs up out of Surtees. Another technical corner there. Funny, awkward little apex in it and a bit of a bump. And, yeah, really difficult to get the power down and really judge when to get the power down.
Maverick building on a lap here that would certainly make most things out of reach, but Webley's really punching a number here.
Yeah.
Where is he? Oh, he's just at the start of the lap. However, Maverick still holding that 10th and a half to 2.5 tenths now, building on the lap as he now comes down the clearway straight, heading up to Clark Curve. 1 corner to go. Can he get this thing tucked in nice and tight? Come out with 100% throttle. Hovering around that 2 tenths. It's going to be a 23.4.
Lightning fast, J-Man. Yeah, lightning fast. Webley looking hot. Crosslin butchered his lap.
Webley has got around 3.5. Just dropped it there, coming down through Dingle Dell.
There's the mistake. Crosslin across for another lap. Henderson also.
Yeah, my calculations would mean I don't think Crossy's going to be able to complete this lap. It was about a minute. I
wouldn't have thought so either. Yep, as he pulls that up. Henderson back in the pits.
Yeah, good to see Hendo improve.
And that's a wrap for qualifying there, J-Man, as we just run through those positions. Mav and Maddie on the top row. The first row there. Webley, Dayton, Crosslin, Henderson, Gunther Rowe, Spence, McConnell and Makalos rounding out the 10, J-Man.
What a great qualifying. So really, really solid there from the likes of, like you said, Gunther Rowe, Tony Spence, and McConnell to be inside the 10.
Absolutely.
But yeah, mega lap there from Mav as we come to expect. And Maddie obviously had some techie issues at the back end of the official practice session, so good to see her sort that out and then actually put that car back up where I think we think it belongs so far tonight from what we've seen. And going to be a big fight there, I think, between Maddie and Brandon Webley at the start of this one. Who else? So Hemi Bateman, thought he might have had a little bit more, however, just coming to terms with these wet conditions in that McLaren here. Back down on P24. Firthy, we've seen some great performances out of the 56 car already this season, but probably picking on performances off the back end of last season. I don't think Firthy will stay in 15th for long. He'll move his way forward, but the other one for me tonight would be Steve Crosslin, qualifying in P5. That's around about 11 positions better off than he did last week, and we saw that he drove to a 7th position from 16th last week. So we'll see what he can do out of P5.
Oh, look, it's going to be interesting. We know how well Brands races, even with half this field, J-Man.
Yeah. So
to put a good solid field of 26 cars on here and then add a little bit of rain, This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Definitely looking forward to it, J-Man. A lot more than I suspect the drivers are.
Yeah, well, hey, look, it's dry and warm where we are, mate. So no complaints here.
Not at all.
So track conditions kind of mirroring what we had once again. So status quo for 15 degrees ambient, 10 degrees track with greasy track conditions. I'm not sure where they get the greasy part from because it looks, by all accounts, pretty reasonably wet. The rain is persistent. So, yeah, looking forward to the start of this one. On that note, I will just go to the gas station myself, and I'll be back in a minute.
As the guys and girls get readied here for the formation lap. Round 2 in Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Season 6 at a very wet Brands Hatch here tonight for round 2. Like I mentioned, readying themselves for the formation lap. There will be tyre pressure adjustments. I can guarantee it, as they watch the weather and this rain just pour down as they sit on the grid with a few seconds to go. Plenty coming up throughout the season, ladies and gentlemen. 10 rounds.
Action-packed.
Oh. Hang on. Technical issue here. Welcome back, everybody. Little bit of a server side issue there for the boys back at house at Rainlight. Just doing a quick server restart, and then we're going to get straight back into it.
Yeah, sounds like the team are just talking the drivers through a little bit of a impromptu driver briefing, and it sounds very much like, Davo, we are going to get what is effectively a virtual safety car restart effective, and
okay.
And maybe Mav take the lead, and they'll just do a formation rolling by the sound of it. So we'll keep you updated. Obviously, that's not too far away. Juan Venter, can you join the race? Look, if you're not registered, not likely. However, I'm sure if you contact the good people here at Rainlight Racing and register through their Discord server, I'm sure they could accommodate you should your ping and everything else be fine, mate. So, yeah, follow the links at the bottom of this YouTube feed, and you'll find everything you need to know. But in the interim, mate, please tune in and enjoy the stream. We are about to go live again with the action here, Brands Hatch round 2 at Rainlight Racing.
Yes, J-Man, we are about to go racing again here for round 2 at a very wet Brands Hatch. Excuse the short interruption to proceedings there, as there was a small server issues. These boys all over it, and got the guys and girls back out on track now. It will be a formation safety car style formation lap as these guys shuffle into their correct positions. No doubt, J-Man, before they come round to cross the start finish line, and we will be getting going. We must thank, as always, Simp Blacks for supporting Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Season 6. Also, CROSSCUT Woodworks, Carpentary and Joinery, True to Life Racing Designs, Crossy 43 and Hendo, of course, and ourselves, Davo and J-Man, bringing the broadcast for Match Fit Entertainment. Second round, Brands Hatch. Plenty of racing to go yet in the season, J-Man. So these guys, our girls, can jump on board. Links to Rainlight Racing's Discord in the description in our YouTube for this broadcast. While you're checking that out, hit the like and subscribe button, people, and hit your notifications, and always join us on the chat box. We love a chat. So yeah, fire it up, guys, and let us know what you
30 seconds.
Want to see. If you're backing someone, we'll get a bit of image on their car. But look, there's plenty of racing going on here tonight. Once these guys get rolling, as the time you can clearly see winds down, we're going to kick things off any moment, and the rain is not letting up at all. So there'll be 26 very nervous drivers out there at the moment.
Yeah. So it's going to be a single file situation, as you've just seen in the chat via Nick Firth. So I don't know how this guy does it. He's probably flipping Firthy's fried burgers while he's doing this. So impressive stuff. But yeah, it'll be a single file situation that will get sorted out, I'm pretty sure, on the lap here. So everybody will be getting an indication about where they are. Just see them filtering up here. 2 Druids, and I would say it will be on the next lap. So they will get a green flag, which will negate any penalties that the game may give them by being out of position at the start of this race, and then sort themselves out, is what I'm imagining how they will do it. But yeah, great qualifying just previously to Maverick and the likes of Matty T, Brandon Webley and co. I think you'll see in there also. We saw Crossy with a top 5. Very good performances by Gunther Rowe and I believe it was Harrison Bell as well, and the JB Weld Mercedes doing a great job. I think maybe McConnell rings a bell as well. Dave, if my memory serves me correctly, did a great job.
Oh,
also
definitely.
in the first phase.
Yep, parked the car up early. Definitely hit his marks early, and was happy with his performance. So
notable mention, Prun Tracy, Gaz Eddy, aka in the pits. Rain light is flashing, so not sure what's happening there, but that will be a big drive from the pit lane back of the field. Now, I think I do remember seeing Prun Tracy up there in the 10 or close to it, so that's a big shock. So free kick for potentially 1 or 2 drivers with Prun starting out of pit lane, so that's a real shock.
We'll just try and pick up as these boys will pick
Reforming on lap 1. Okay, so where does that leave you, Gaz Eddie? Don't worry, I'll be back in place. Cool, mate. Appreciate the feedback. I was concerned for you there, Gaz.
Okay, so this will be a very quick reshuffle of positions here, J-Man, and this will become a full contact situation here, so they will have to be very careful about how they go about this.
Green light. Go.
Okay, so this is the lap. It'll look a little bit strange, viewers, but don't worry. The good people here at Rainlight Racing have got this all sorted, and they will organise this throughout this lap. They just need all the cars to come across. I can imagine this is an organisation. Chaos. So yeah, well done to them.
Yeah.
So we can just see the leaderboard starting to shuffle now. You'll see the likes of Maverick and Matty T just weaving their way up through the traffic now. I can see them on camera just starting to take their places. Everybody will jostle themselves into position. They have got the length of this race circuit to get this done.
Yeah.
And then no doubt Mav will put in a controlled speed of what he needs to do to make sure this field.
Yeah. And you can see where the guys that are trying to get back in position, i.e. Gunther Rowe and the likes, at very slow pace here. And we would see Mav here, really pull that back just to give everybody behind that time. You can see the top 3 now in place there, J-Man, Mav, Matty and Webley, as the rest of the start to sort things out.
Well, we've got Crossland needs to come past Rowe by the look of it.
He's passed.
There's a big traffic jam down there, so I'm not sure what's happening.
They're just working their way through this, what is a very tricky situation, J-Man.
Very tricky.
Very tricky. But the good people here at Rainlight Racing right onto this. And I'm making it happen. It's short delay, obviously.
I'm just thinking cold tyres, mate. I'm just thinking cold tyres.
It's like after all this work, just how hectic T1 and 2 and 3 can be at Brands. It's just could all come unstuck so quickly. So as the field,
all right, here we go. They're lining up.
Yep.
Effectively what looks to be basically round through sector 2 in the what they deem as the part of the track. I just can't bring up my graphic there for some reason. Here we go. Okay, so they are on the Pilgrim's Drop, which is just before they rise up the Hawthorn Hill. So
they're just moving away again. So we're back. I think everyone in position there, back to Macrolos. So we're pretty well halfway through the field there, J-Man.
Yep.
Sure, the
Yep.
boys in the background are also working themselves out. That is, if you look in the background, that was Gaz Eddie's car just rolling up as well. So he is not starting from the... They've pulled that car out of the pits and they're going to form him up in this race, as we would have expected.
There's just a little bit of confusion from the likes of, I think, Firthy, Will Dixon and co, just trying to sort that out, so they will have race control letting them know what's going on there.
Yeah, I thought Faraday was in 10th, but he might have lost out there towards the end of that qualifying session. Still only halfway around the circuit here, so still got a little bit of time to muck around with this. I think they're just doing the final adjustments now. Come on, boys.
Yes. Starting to look pretty good. I think
Now
all the way down to, from where I can see.
Now remember everyone, so on offer here in Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6 here with Simblacks on board for this series and some great giveaways, J-Man. Obviously, the notable one is a brand new GT Neo wheel that will be given away at the end of the series.
Yeah, well done, Simblacks and Rainlight Racing. What a great package to be up on offer.
So that's a spin the wheel situation. So it doesn't matter whether you're at the pointy end or down in the Pro-Ams. Anyone
got to complete, I think, eight of the 10 rounds.
Yep. So that means right now you need to sign up. So Discord links in the description of Rainlight Racing. Get involved. Run the next 8 rounds and you will go in the draw to win that GT Neo via Simblacks as well every round.
Looking up the front, Davo. Maverick at around about the 90k an hour as he heads down towards the Sheen curve.
Every round, ladies and gentlemen, they are giving away a $50 Prezi card. So get involved. Spin the wheel. We'll be spinning the wheel. So,
looking good for a start here, mate.
Coming up to the start-finish line. So, it's not necessary whether they go now.
Yeah, I think they've just utilised that lap to get in the correct position and then maybe get those tyre pressures back up, because I mean it's going to be hard enough as it is in the wet.
So a bit of a 3-lap formation, guys. The track's not drying at all. Are the tyres coming up to temperature? Probably not. Bugger all. but they're working on it. I doubt they'll just do a random start under Mav's control. As he warms the tyres, I suspect he will bunch that field as they get to this end of this lap. And we will be green, 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 as they say, for round 2 here at Brands Hatch.
The field is kind of in 3 parts at the moment. So you've got Mav going all the way back out to probably, I think it's somewhere around about Gunther Row.
Yep.
And then there's a little bit of a snake starting from Tony Spence, which is actually just caught back up now, catching back up to the back of this pack, because that pack, Mav is holding a steady 50k an hour at the moment. 50 to 80, he's just coming through the corner. It'll be up to that mid pack to try and bunch themselves back up. They are getting close. There is a big snake. I can see on my telemetry that the pack is just about one snake as they head into the Clark curve.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And as we said, the final cars through Heavy Bateman and Adrian Kramer and Joe.
And we're away, mate.
On the back.
Gotta go. We're all go. Mav is away.
So we've got a green light into T1, single file. Start there. difficult situation for the Green Light boys, but we are green on round 2 here at Brands Hatch for Green Light Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. And a little bit of spread there already with Mav just taking advantage of having control of that field. J-Man just stretches his legs a little bit. I think Matty T's going to have Webley. Webley will definitely be all over the back of that.
Yeah, and Hendo on the back of Crossland as well.
Yes, with Dayton tucked in between those two battles, J-Man. Just tucked in behind Hendo is actually Gunther Rudd and Tony Spence in the SSR McLaren. Craig back there in 9th. Good tidy start, as you'd expect, single file start here tonight, J-Man. But
so Dayton's the one on the attack really here. I mean, Mavericks clearly tricked out Dayton with a little wiggle as he came out of...
It's made it vulnerable to Crossland. Does Crossland get it done? Crossland?
No.
Oh, no, it got messy. I might see if we can get a replay on that one.
Oh, and it's got messy between... Oh, who was that? It's got big up the front. Who was that? That was... I was just trying to see who that was. But it was a big incident after the fact.
So, yeah, Spence with that... You can see that there.
Oh, Gunther Rowe's car is an absolute write-off. Bonnet up. He's in the pit lane, broken window, bonnet up. It is a hell of a scene down there.
Oh, that's unfortunate, J-Man, as the camera guys are trying to keep up with all that. Oh, Dayton came out of that unscathed, surprisingly enough, after all that. With, I think it was, like you said, Gunther Rowe and Steve Crossland back well down the field after it all. So those two getting tangled up. So unfortunate start there. Just that slightest little wriggle from Dayton really did concertina those few cars together.
Yeah, and it's allowed Webley just to focus now on the back of Matty T, because obviously he was under immense pressure from Matt Dayton.
Bella with a big off.
Oh, JB Weld in the sand.
So just picked that, he was just tucked in behind, I think that's Macrolos.
Yep.
And McConnell there, and just loses.
Oh, Macrolos down the inside of McConnell. Out of the final turn. He's going to have rights for turn 1 if he can live there. Not the optimum line.
Oh, he's come back in. Definitely not the optimum line here at Brands, J-Man. The corner runs away terribly as you drop off the hill on that off camber. And pulls it back in, rightly so.
Who's that up in front? So that's Shane Fodderdo. Started out of, I think, P11 and is shadowing Nathan Henderson in 7th position. And then they have got Tony Spence just up the road. So Tony Spence still doing a great job after a very, very solid qualifying.
So we've got the McConnell-Dixon first battle there, J-Man. That's also just up in front of that is Mr. Tracy. So very heated battle that actually goes down a bit. I think Daniel Kim's tagged onto the back of that, and that's also Dawson in the Bentley, and not too far behind, then a bit of a gap back to Geordie Moss.
Gunther Rowe with a huge repair job in the pits. Just left the pit lane now. 1 minute 45 on the jack. Saw him with a total time of 2 minutes 13 in the lane.
That's
yeah, he has got a repaired Mustang out there now, so he will be able, and that car has got good pace, so he'll be able to try and make something from this, but a long way back. Effectively a lap down on the race now, so that is an official pit stop though, so he'll be able to just press on, hopefully for the rest of this 90, see if he can make these wet tyres live. Hopefully the conditions stay the same.
As we just see, we might get a replay on that. That was Dixon. He looked like...
Oh, we got Nick Firth down the inside.
So Prune Tracy and Nick Firth came together.
Daniel Kim
spun him, and then Dixon just sorted it out at the end. So a couple of was lost for Nick Firth, J-Man.
Yep. Yep.
So that's unfortunate.
Now, Webley's still got eyes on Matty T here, mate, for second position. And I tell you what, the pace has just settled down. But what it's done is they've dropped into the low 25s, and Matt Dayton's circulating at the same pace as the race leader on a 24.8. So identical pace to Maverick at the moment has Matt Dayton. However, Maverick out there just fresh air circulating, no real pressure. But Matt Dayton got a ton of pace on that car. Last lap round for Maverick was a 25.0. Last lap round for Matt Dayton was a 24.8. So fastest car on track last lap round was Dayton. So he's going to try and get back in touch with Webley, who is very much in touch with the back of that Ferrari of Matty T, as you can see on the visuals. Right there, showing the nose, actually enough probably car control and setup at the moment to be able to really duck off the line and let Matty know that he's there. We know how fast the Mustangs are in a straight line. Round the outside of Matty T, can he make it split a little bit wide?
And he'll be vulnerable to Spence now, J-Man, as well.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Look, I think the move was there, just ran out of grip on the outside of that corner there. Matty did a good job to hold a nerve and just hold that line. And now, once again, as per the start of the race, Webley with a lot of pressure from Matt Dayton.
Yeah, she did have the rights to the corner, and it was on the optimum line. So, brave move there from Webley. Not quite pulling it off there. But, now vulnerable to Spence in the number 12 McLaren, J-Man. Webley will get a wriggle along, I suspect, back up on the back of that Ferrari.
New fastest lap of the race from Maverick, 24.5. So just making use of that fresh air. Fodado still on Henderson, and Henderson really starting to apply the pressure now to Tony Spence in that SSR McLaren.
Yeah, so that's heating up there, J-Man.
So new war scheme, new war paint for Nathan Henderson this week in the Aston Martin. So good to see that thing out there looking pretty. Got a new wrap on that thing.
Yeah, nice stuff. As is the McLaren.
Firth on Dixon. Gets it done. Tucked right up in behind. That's a big battle pack there. That starts basically at Pryn Tracy, Will Dixon, Nick Firth, Craig McConnell. Oh! Firthy gets a tag, I think, from McConnell. Goes sideways. Up. Through the right-hander. Up into Hawthorns. And just, sorry, it might have been Westfield, actually. Dropping down through Dingledale at the moment. That really upset. Probably spiked a bit of temp. Now, Pryn Tracy, also Davo.
Yeah, well, he's right in amongst that. So, he's been trying to fend him off. So, he was the lead car and all that, as we just pick up on the replay with Firth actually gathering after that tag. That
it was a good save.
It was a good save, and that sort of made the BMW vulnerable, or the Mustang vulnerable to the Bentley of Dawson, just tucked in behind him there, J-Man. So, plenty going on.
So that Mustang of Brandon Webley is leaving 11s out of quite a few corners consecutively at the moment. So just really struggling to get the power down, as we just see him just coming up through the left-hander, coming on to the big back straight of Pilgrim's Drop there, that just even coming out of there, coming up the hill, the thing's got so much horsepower that he can actually just literally leave black lines on the way out of there. And I don't want to hope that the rain stays the way it is, because those wets won't last long like that.
So, Moss losing positions there. Makalos side by side, J-Man down through Pilgrims there.
Hard to make an outside move up through here.
Moss covering his line, goes the over-under, and again, this next blind right-hander comes up so quickly. Nowhere to go for Makalos.
No, and Wadsworth just tucked in the back of shot there too as well, on waiting brief there. So that is Danny Kim just further up the road, got in a bit of a real estate exchange with Nick Firth earlier, and Firthy's pressed on. Now he's just trying to catch back up to the likes of Dixon and Tracy just up the road. So Firthy is in the 10. And Matty responded last lap round to Maverick. Maverick with a 25.0. And then Matty with the 24.8, but the damage is done already at this phase of the race. 4.3 seconds is the lead, so Maverick really made some good gains at the start of that race when the likes of Matty was fending off Webley and Dayton. So Hendo looking for an outside. Everyone's keen for that outside move. He goes outside, inside.
No, it was Hendo. And then, no, it's the other way around. It's Fotado.
Oh, sorry.
Fotado doing Hendo over. Yeah.
Yep.
So nice work from Fotado. Good clean pass. Henderson had nothing for it. And the boys picking it up in the chopper there, J-Man. Nice work. Yep. So good close battle. Dixon on Tracy. J-Man, Dixon really showing some intent. Looking for that outside. Really forced him offline.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a good spirited battle here. These guys all well and truly accustomed to racing with each other. Formerly used to see Will Dixon in a Porsche. And also Prue and Tracy Gazzetti in a Porsche. Firthy, I think, formerly in a Ferrari. So all a switch of brands for this three out on track at the moment, but doing a great job here in round 2.
Yeah, Firth with a little bit of a touch-up earlier on, dropped him down a few positions, but is definitely in the fight, holding down a 10th position provisionally at the moment. J-Man tucked up under the wing of Will Dixon's 997 Aston Martin. Another fantastic looking paint job on that car as well.
Yeah, Macross still trying to work over Jordan Moss here, mate.
So
and,
Mossie's got his work cut out for him. And here we go, down through the drop.
Pilgrim's drop, up Hawthorne Hill here. And then heading through these series of right-handers, which is effectively Hawthorns onto the Derek Minter straight into Westfield, and then they drop down through Dingle Dell, and they come up to this dangerous sheen curve here.
And that's where we saw Dayton get that little bit of curb there early in the race there. Really brought Crossland and Rowe unstuck J-Man, and yeah, just the slightest of mistakes. Look, limited grip clearly out here tonight with it being pouring down. There's Macalis into the pits, J-Man. He's out of that.
Yeah, jumps out of that battle. Now, Fotado was in that battle with Hendo you just mentioned before. I called it the wrong way around. Now, Fotado's pressed on forward. Now, he's right on the back of Tony Spence. And
already.
He's got there. Oh, who was that?
That's Dayton. That's Dayton off.
That's Matt Dayton. He's come off down the bottom of the hill after Druids. So, as he's dropped down...
Oh, there, we're just picking up the end of it there,
down through Graham Hill there. He's come off and the bonnet is up a little bit. Not too much damage, but...
Henderson got him as well there, so...
Yep.
Unlucky for Dayton. J-Man. Fotado, Hunting Spence, Firth, Dixon, Tracy. Still in close touch, down a bit further. I think Bateman just now past Van der Venter. Oh, and it's still on, J-Man. Van der Venter trying to, as they go down through Pilgrim.
Almost looked like it was a redress.
Might have been there, and also Kramer down a position to Nightingale.
Yeah, quick stop for Costas Macrolos after you called it. 8 seconds on the jack. Sees a 30-second outright transit time. So pretty much a scheduled stop there by the look of that. Now,
Crossland McConnell. Crossland in the 43. Simblack's Honda, and just...
Van der Venter off.
Big slip from the Honda there, and allowing McConnell a bit of breathing. Yes, Van der Venter, a bit of a slip. He's lost a position to Bateman. Plenty go. There's some moving and shaking. J-Man. We have Nick Firth still on the back of Dixon. Henderson, Frodo. That little battle spread a little bit there. Spencer's actually responded, or Frodo dropped back a little bit. Webley, as usual, still trying to stay in touch with Matty, but has he got it? As they start to come up on the back of the field, that is Joe Grimmer out of the final corner there.
Oh, Matty with a big wiggle there. I'll tell you what.
That's Webley coming. They're right there.
Yeah, he probably got a slightly shallower line that he would have wanted through ones. Got to probably make the exit not as good as Matty's.
So it's counteracted that little mistake from Matty out of the final.
Yep.
So pretty even draw of straws there for those two as they start rounding up some of the lap traffic here, J-Man. Nice work from Grimmer too, by the way, to have that car offline and still at speed. So very nice work.
Yeah, Dixon Firth still a battle going on. However, Gazzetti, aka Prune Tracy, just stepped out a little bit. I think while that battle's been going on.
Mossy now with Makalos off his back is now focusing on Daniel Kim, J-Man.
Yeah, McConnell just ran wide, turn one, allowed Crossy up the inside. However, Crossy runs wide at Druids and allows McConnell back through. So these guys are just trading that 15th and 16th position, corner after corner. We're going to see Crossy get a run down the inside now as they head down out of Graham Hill and they come up through the left-hander of Surtees, sorry. So Crossy wins that battle. Sorry, I was just watching with intent because it just looked a little loose. But
we got Henderson on Frodo again, J-Man as well. So I just wonder whether Frodo's struggling a little bit and has come back to Henderson. There was a bit of a gap between those three cars, only last lap. So we see Spence running away. So I suspect Frodo's had a bit of a slip up and come back there to Henderson. And now looking vulnerable, actually. Henderson well tucked up under the wing of the 585 McLaren.
So Matty, just after they rounded up Uncle Joe, just managed to make that margin back again. Only by about 1.3, 1.2 seconds. So she's got plenty to think about with Brandon Webley in tow. But as you mentioned, Nathan Henderson. So not sure what happened there. A little bit of even flow because Shane sort of drove away from him, but then Hendo sort of last couple of laps sorted that thing out and just right back on the tail again. And once again, they're going to have to round up Uncle Joe here. Catch it, caught him at a really awkward spot. Shane actually had to grab the brakes. Gave that carbon fibre front end of that Aston Martin a little bit of a tune-up down through Dingle Dell.
Yeah, and it's still in progress here as Joe does his best just to stay out of these boys' way. He's showing some really good pace, so it's taking them some time to sneak past J-Man.
Yeah, it is.
Even with him a little bit offline there, so yeah, well done again to Joe.
Yep, and in the background are recovering Matt Dayton. Now the front end of that McLaren probably not as good as it was at the start of the race. It is carrying a little bit of front aero damage. And they're not too far back. Pryn Tracy has actually driven a little bit away from Will Dixon, who has driven away from Firthy. And who removed themselves out of that battle at the time?
Macrolos.
It was Macrolos.
Yep. So the only ones that I think I had...
Oh, Macrolos gets it super sideways.
Was Macrolos and
McConnell.
Dixon had pitted.
Yep.
It's not showing up on my board, actually. Why is that not showing up, J-Man? I wonder what's going on there.
No, it's all a bit of a mess. We can't really, there's a few things we can't call tonight, viewers. So the positions up and down, gained and lost, are not accurate here tonight due to our unscheduled formation rolling start. We're probably just lacking a little bit of data. However, the action is still aplenty.
Absolutely.
When we look at the likes of Henderson, Fodado, great battle, very, very close out there on track at the moment.
Yep.
Only around a half a second, 0.4, 0.5 Also 0.9 to 1 second. Don't need too much telemetry to tell you how close it is between Webley and
Not
Matty
at all.
T.
Not at all.
Another good battle as well. I'm not sure whether he's just rounded him up, but he's lost it again. And Steve Crossan, I don't know if you're going to catch the replay there. He must have just rounded up Wadsworth and, Worcester, and then just lost it up through, I think it was that fast part of the track up Hawthorne Hill before they dropped down into Dingle Dell, or maybe it was Sheen's.
No contact. Unforced error Crossan there. And
Crossan pushing hard.
Yeah. So Steve Crossan in the number 43 Simblacks Honda. No mucking around from him tonight. Qualified really well, J-Man in the top 10, and just got tangled up in the early part of the race, and so really trying to play a little bit of catch up now.
Yeah, absolutely. So standout drive for me at this point of the time would be the SSR McLaren of Tony Spence, the 420 car. Weathered a bit of heat there early from Fodado, Hendo, Dayton dropping back, so I don't think he actually applied any pressure to him, but he's up there in P4 at the moment officially, and lapping in the mid-25s at the moment. Best lap of a 25.1, currently lapping at around about 25.5, I think. Okay, last lap wasn't as good, 26.5, so doing a great job up there. And I think as long as Fodado and Henderson keep battling, he's probably safe at the moment. But man, they're close. Fodado, Henderson, that is a great battle at the moment. But it is playing into the hands, I believe, of Dayton, who's on recovery mode and has got car pace.
Yep.
He was not quite a second, but around about 8 to 9 tenths faster than those boys last lap round. If he keeps the focus, he'll be a part of that. Jordan Moss doing a good job, P12 currently. Who have we seen go to pits already? Yeah, not too many have stopped yet. We've obviously seen a couple. We've seen... Okay, we've lost Gunther. Thing was clearly too bent to carry on.
Yeah, well, it did spend a lot of time in the pits after that little melee.
It's a shame.
It's at lap 2 or 3 there, J-Man, and some very tight racing going on. But yeah, a couple of the boys getting tangled
Prune
up
Tracy,
there towards there, so...
What is going on there with Prune Tracy? The boys just rounded him up, the likes of Jordan Moss and Danny Kim. So I'm not just sure what happened to Prune Tracy then, but he was all sorts of slow coming out the final sector there.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Just missed that on the replay there, J-Man. Not sure what's going on there, but I think that was 3 positions, or was it 4? I think that just went back. So, you know, I think it was Moss, Kim first, and quite possibly Dixon as well, J-Man.
Yeah, I mentioned Dayton coming up to the back of the Fodado Henderson battle, and he's pretty much in touch now. He's 0.6 of a second behind Fodado, so
yeah,
catch that replay here.
Fodado had nothing. I just don't think he's got Henderson's measure at the moment. Henderson well hooked up in that Aston tonight, J-Man. And without a mistake, as we just see, that said Aston, a little bit of a slip out of the left-hander here.
Yeah, it just encourages Fodado again to stay with it.
But oh look, Fodado will be well aware of Dayton's presence, getting closer and closer up behind him there. So, yes, his focus will no doubt change.
Webley very, very close to Matty T. Looks for an outside line, looking to cut back down out of the left-hander, and then literally charge back up the hill as they come out of Surtees and head up Pilgrim's Drop. That Mustang actually flashing the brake lights mid-straight, so actually Matty, when she shifted lines to go to the outside, caught Brandon Webley out.
How
she just had to go to the brake pedal.
How was the pace of it? Like the acceleration out of Surtees there?
Yep, very, very good. Now, expect that this will be where the Ferrari and Matty's, this mid-corner stuff will be where this car shines. But look, when they come off the corners, that Mustang's got so much horsepower. Now, got about 6.3, 6.4 seconds up the road to Maverick. So Maverick's out there still.
Oh, Henderson, Frodo pass. Henderson, what happened there?
Okay, so missed something there. Hendo just got a little bit wrong. Dayton just giving a flash of the lights to, I think that was the, I believe it was the Josh Nightingale car. So was there an issue with lapping the back marker of Josh Nightingale?
It quite possibly could have been, J-Man. And Frodo taking quick advantage of that immediately.
Yeah, all over it.
Webley, so we've got the Henderson Frodo battle and the Webley Matty T battle at the moment. The four closest cars on track.
Yeah, so you watch it's this point here. You watch the acceleration of this little bit of a wiggle on the exit, coming up on a lap marker here. But you watch the power of this Mustang.
Just reels it in, doesn't it? The Ferrari. Look at it.
Yep. Right in touch by the time they tip into Hawthorn's there. And they come up through the series of right-handers here, through Hawthorn's.
And Matty again, real decisive move around the lap traffic there. Got the tail out. Yeah. Nearly got the tail out again. We saw it when she came past Joe Grimmer there a few laps ago, J-Man. Yeah, really decisive move. And again, probably fairly equal straws again drawn there as they get past that lap traffic. Henderson, Frodo have not gone away, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, with Frodo a little bit of a slip up out of 30s. It is, no it's not. They're into the final corner here.
Yeah, that was out of Sterling. And he's right there. He's looking
he's well there.
Go the shallow line. Oh, the car with a big flick on the entry into turn one, into Paddock Hill Bend. Just got a real hop off the bump on the way in.
We've also got Tracy and Kim hard at it as well, J-Man. So plenty going on. Crossland in the pits, J-Man.
Yeah, copy. So this will be an official stop for Crossy. And it was saying 49 a minute 11 is a little bit hard to tell because got some unreliable data based on the start of this race. So, however, that car looks pretty clean coming out. So, Dayton right on the back again of Henderson. I feel like at the moment Dayton's only got enough pace to run with them when they either make a mistake or get engaged in a battle, but on outright pace, I think the front of that McLaren's just a little bit hurt at the minute.
Yeah, I tend to agree, J-Man. Yeah, unless these guys are in full, side-by-side battle or, working each other over or make a mistake, Dayton's car just doesn't have it. We saw it off track earlier. And no doubt carrying some damage. So Jordan Moss, did you say, J-Man?
Yeah, made his stop, 31 seconds, 54 outright.
Nice.
So he now can run the final 53 odd minutes out, knowing that he's done his job. He has got Adrian Kramer in the 22 car in front of him, who hasn't made his stop. However, further up the road, I think the car he'll be looking at will be the 222 car, as mentioned by Stewie, for position. So effectively, there's around 3 cars between them that'll shake out. The net margin is around about, it's quite a bit up the road. He's got quite a margin up the road to try and get to him. It's around about 15-20 seconds, something like that. So got a lot of work to do as Jordan Moss. However, he'll be in it for the long haul.
Oh, definitely, J-Man.
Hey, Dayton on Henderson, did you say that job's done?
Dayton on Henderson. Henderson went backwards. What happened there?
Yeah, only went one position back, but something's gone on there.
So Henderson back in position, J-Man. I didn't see him.
Spotted out.
Didn't see him get in the pits there. So, but again, look, Dayton with nowhere near the pace of Fotado in front of him, J-Man. As always, we just see the McLaren get very sideways at the bottom of the hill out of 1. They're very lucky to grab that up. You know how tricky that corner is. You dial on a little bit of opposite lock if you're a little bit sideways, but then the G-force as you suck down into the bottom of that hill can easily just spit you off the track the other way. So very tricky to watch there. Even Webley still looking for something somewhere on Matty T. I just don't think that Mustang's got the pace here tonight. Matty T,
like,
great.
Just round up Uncle Joe just in the infield there. Must have had a little bit of an incident.
Tracy still trying to work over Daniel and Worcester down a position on Macrolos. Now Macrolos, one of the early pit stoppers, J-Man, if not the first, I think it was Dixon and Macrolos first in. So Macrolos on the hunt.
Who's that? Jordan Moss, Craig McConnell looking for an inside move out of the final turn. He's certainly got it up there, but we've seen this have really, really tough.
Oh,
tough
Moss is gonna try and make it happen. Now that's the first time we've seen that actually followed through there, J-Man. Usually the trailing car backing out of it. Very awkward an early entry there in 1.
Yeah, good pass from Moss because he
nice
will have eyes on the 222 car. He'll be wanting to bridge that margin to try and... Oh, and who was that? That was Craig McConnell having a big lose. Puts it in the wall. The bonnet is up.
Oh, no. So now, well, McConnell's car was damaged anyway. That bonnet's been up for a while on that thing.
Oh, I tell you what, it doesn't look good. That front left isn't even wanting to spin at the moment. So,
oh, that is well. That what do we call it? The smashed crab.
The smashed crab, mate.
Oh yeah, that is a bent car. He will struggle to get that round the circuit and back to the pit lane. That will be a long stop, Jay. Need to get back onto this Webley Matty T battle. It is on. Here we go. Into 1 on the outside. That's not going to happen. But forces Matty shallow into the entry. And again, the sideways. So sideways in the Mustang mid-corner as he picks up the throttle.
Yeah, so the strengths and weaknesses of these cars, and definitely, you know, Matty's car is very, very good around the back of the circuit. Very, very good down the hill here. But, you know, as we've seen before, when they come out of here, out of Surtees and they come up to the Pilgrims Drop Hawthorne Hill situation, like as long as Webley gets the drive, that's probably not going to help him that much. But such as the horsepower of this thing, you still come back towards the back end of the straight, but then we start building through these rights through Hawthorne here and then heading up
the Mustang,
the Minter Straight into Westfield.
The Ferrari's just got turn in to burn. That's what it just looks like to me. The Mustang, obviously, with outright grunt and power down the straight. But this, just watch Matty T just drop into this corner here.
But this is as close at this part of the lap that I've seen Webley. He normally that's a section that Matty pulls away a bit.
Apart from last lap, J-Man, because that was side by side. So, but yeah, again, see just those couple of corners there. The Ferrari has the turn in. And it's a fight back for the Mustang in the straight line.
It's very reliant on its straight line speed.
And we go again. No mistakes from these guys. We don't want to put the commentator's curse on them. We'll just flick off them for a little bit. We will flick over to this Prune Tracy Daniel Kim battle, J-Man, because that is heating up.
Yeah. As is Dayton Fotado as well. But as you were, mate, I'll be everywhere you're not. And they are actually catching the Tony Spence car, who I've sort of pumped up a little bit. They're right on the back of Tony Spence.
Oh,
now.
Look at this. This is getting very close. Dayton actually just backed away from that a little bit. That tightened up as they start to come up on some lap traffic here, J-Man.
Yeah, got very tight in the middle of Druids then.
A little bit of a flash of the headlights from Spence, just letting know they're coming, but look at how close. Fotado is on the back.
Same with Dayton on the back of Whānau. There's nothing in it. Certainly close enough for all of them to be able to pick up a draft. Bent's on the headlights again. Just trying to let Kramer, I think it is. No, hey mate, we're here. And mate, we are hot and battling.
They're coming, and that is Henderson now getting involved. Recovering there, J-Man, from a little bit of a slip up earlier, losing a position there to Dayton, but now just tagged onto the back of this. What is going to end up a four-way battle? Well, it is right now. Look at that.
It's going to get more because Dixon and Firth. Now, Firth got the run out of Sterling then and started putting a lot of pressure on Dixon. So that's only just in the back of the shot. Who was that?
Oh, that's
that
Dayton.
Was Matt Dayton.
That's Dayton in.
So he got out of that, caught up to them, and thought, you know, I'll go for an undercut here, boys.
I think that's a smart move, J-Man, to be honest, right there.
That's, what has happened, Webley is a long way off the back of Matty T.
So that's allowed some breathing space there for Whānau, clearly, and he can concentrate on Spence, J-Man. And like you mentioned, that Dixon first battle is right just tucked up behind him there, mate. So not too far away with those guys really starting to, you know, strap the gloves on, weren't they, for a biggie there?
Yep. So I'll be interested to see Dayton in the lane where he comes out. Macrolos coming around the final corner. He's going to, okay, so Macrolos is comfortably going to round up Dayton here. Who else? Where is Jordan Moss? Jordan Moss has actually just come out of Dingledale, coming up through, okay, so it's just coming into Sterling.
Yeah. So Dayton's easily got him. So yeah, dropping position to Macrolos there. Macrolos, one of the first pit stoppers.
Tracy through on Kim.
Worcester in the pits as well. So yes, Tracy passed Kim.
Firthy hard at work on the back of Will Dixon at the moment. I'm not sure what Firthy's race strategy is, but look, he's been tucked up there for a while. Well, he might be better to just dip to the pits and get that out the way with.
Just remembering, Firth did get tangled up earlier in the race, J-Man, and he's kept the thing pointing in the right direction, but definitely had a couple of touch-ups and slowed his momentum as he works over the back of Dick Whānau. Spence still at it, J-Man. We must thank again Rainlight Racing for their 2024 GT3 Season 6. We've got to thank Simblacks for supporting the series. 10 rounds here in Season 6 for Rainlight Racing. Also, we'd like to thank CROSSCUT, WOODWORKS, Carpentary and Joinery, True to Life Racing Designs, Crossy 43, and of course Hendo, Match Fit Entertainment, bringing you all of this goodness on the internets. Hit the like and subscribe button and your notifications, everyone, and throw us a message in the chat box. Plenty of racing yet to go, J-Man. 43 minutes, a little over, still to go. So we're only, just over halfway.
Yeah, so I want to pick up on that. And Stu's made a valid point in the chat and sort of raised my eyebrows when I talked about the likes of Dayton and Macrolos and that coming out of the pits versus Jordan Moss. Now, Jordan Moss with a 31-second stop versus Costas Macrolos' 8-second stop. So you could argue that the Costas stop was merely a splash and dash. So he's asking a lot out of those wet tyres for the duration of this race. Yeah, and then Mossy clearly taking a tyre, I would have thought, in that 31-second stop. Correct me if I'm wrong, viewers. You guys probably more aware of what the pit transit times are for taking what have you, but I suspect Moss has gone for more of a race car to do the duration, and maybe this might cost him at the back end, excuse the pun.
Yeah, quite possibly a J-Man.
But Webley on his way back towards Matty too, so I'm not sure what happened there, but he certainly fell a long way back off of Matty compared to what we've been seeing. But he is well and truly getting back in touch with only about 1.1 seconds to margin now. Big gap from those guys back to Tony Spence, but the gap at the front now, we haven't said or mentioned a lot of him, and he doesn't get a lot of credit for the job he does out there in the Red Bull Honda. is the number 3 car of Maverick, aka Phil Antoon, out there just doing an absolute stellar job at the moment in these conditions. Last lap round was a 24.8, so degradation on that Honda is negligible. Just out there smashing the times at the moment. So well done to Mav. Really, if you're going to go out and beat this guy, you've got to turn up and do something special, because when he's on, he's on. We saw it was pretty close in quali initially, and then equally in the official practice. But man, as the night goes on, you've kind of got to get better and better if you want to stay. And Davo, is it just me, or are you seeing a slightly drier line forming out here?
Yeah, definitely seeing the drier line, although the weather forecast doesn't show the rain letting up. But yeah, well, the action's been so hot. I'm not surprised we're seeing a dry line there, J-Man. But yeah, definitely very wet offline. And, you know, we've seen it a couple of times where the boys try to run outside, side by side outside, and look, there's just nothing out there for them. So, yeah, Mav doing his stuff. But the race behind him has been epic. Matty T and Webley been going at it pretty well from the green flag. J-Man, Webley must be in the pits. Yes, he is. But then, you know, the Tony Spence, Vonado, Firth, Dixon, Tracy, Kim, like Macron, Dayton, Henderson, Moss, like the battles down through the field behind these guys. The whole top 10, the mid-pack is epic here tonight, J-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see Webley in the pits. Time is ticking, just gone past the 25-second mark. We're looking for somewhere around anywhere between 31 and 34 seconds for a stop here for Brandon Webley. And the car drops off the jacks at... Okay, so it's a little longer than I expected. We're into the 40s. 43 seconds on the jacks. So quite a reasonable stop. Gives them a total transit time of 1:05. And where is Costas Makrolos? He has gone through. So that short stop scenario, hang on, has he?
No, he's still behind.
No, yep. He's tucked in behind.
But not very far behind, J-Man. There's only a few seconds there between those two. You can actually still, you can see them in a camera shot there together.
Yep. Oh, okay, is that Fodado having a big attack there on Tony Spence? I saw that margin
Yeah, so that's
stretch
slowly
out a little bit, but he's now looking for an over-under out of the final turn. And I'll tell you what, Tony Spence in the lane.
He's just like, okay, I'm out of here. We'll leave that one to you, Fodado. So that will be an interesting watch, J-Man.
Yeah, great opening stint from Spence. I'll tell you what, that was a very, very, very good opening stanza to hold off the likes of Fodado, Dixon and co.
Oh, he's been in the thick of it, hasn't he, J-Man?
Yeah.
Firth also in the pits.
Okay, so Firthy, he was engaged in a pretty brutal battle behind, I think it was Will Dixon at the time.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of Will Dixon, just a little bit of a run wide coming down the hill. Comes up through Surtees at the moment, but yeah, that was less than ideal. Now, Webley, where does Webley come out?
Firthy
comes out in front of Jacob Wadsworth, but yeah, in front of Costas Makrolos also.
Yeah, we saw that J-Man as we just see Firth out of the pit lane and in clean air. Who was that just snuck past him there?
Endo.
Oh no, it's one of the. It's one of the.
One of the leaders.
Yeah. Oh, whoever that
Matty
was.
T.
One of the lapped cars in between Hendo and Firth there, just exiting stage right there. Out of two, easily done there, particularly in these conditions. But yeah, that's Henderson tucked in behind Matty T. Matty T yet to stop, and then Firthy. Just see in the back of shot every now and then. Makrolos on the run. He's gone for a totally different strategy to everybody else so far, J-Man, I suspect.
Yeah, and look, it's at this point in time, it's given him track position as he just tucks up the inside.
Oh, and damn, was that close?
That was Jacob Wadsworth, who hasn't stopped, so that was legitimate position, and that was tight.
We'll just get a quick replay of that.
Oh, Webley off turn 1. That's going to allow Costas through, and that is positional change. So those older tyres working really, really well for Costas at the moment. And who is that right in front? That looks like Pete Dawson's car out of P20. It is, so that'll effectively be a lap car. So blue flags waving
So
for
just
the
getting that
Dawson car.
replay on Webley as he just really got a big tank slapper on the entry to 1 there. And obviously slowing and allowing Makalos pass immediately. That is Jacob just in the background there. All for position there, J-Man. Wadsworth as well. I think he's Wadsworth yet to pit.
Yes, Wadsworth yet to pit. Fred Tracy in the pits as we speak. Who else is in there? Also is the 426 car, which would be Dan Hemi Bateman is in the pits also. So looking at Fred Tracy's stop.
Now Tracy should come out around about the 30 mark, shouldn't he?
He'd be somewhere around about there. Firthy
Yeah.
just... Oh, hang on. No, might be more... Yeah, no, probably would be. Just dicks at the jack.
Oh yeah, first might get him here. First pass, J-Man.
Yeah, rounds him up there out of the pits.
And Moss,
where is
Mossy
Jordan Moss?
he's rounding the final corner now
Okay.
as Tracy goes through T1. So yeah, big gap back to Moss, and just in the background you can see the Craig McConnell Mustang, and with the bonnet back down. So big repair bill, a lot of work going on behind
So
the
the
scenes
front-
to get that back out on track here. Webley all over the back of Makalos. He wants that position back, J-Man.
He does. He does.
So this will heat up.
Yeah, and he's likely got a better tyre on board too, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. Makalos doing a great job on an older tyre.
Yeah, but it's Ferrari v Mustang again now, isn't it? Oh, Makalos runs
Makalos
deep.
incredibly wide.
Just gets
Pressured into it.
gets
Gathered it
the-
up nicely though.
He did just a little bit of the left's going out onto the grass there. So we pick it up on the replay there. Oh, so easily done. Luckily not. That could have been a lot worse, J-Man. So gathered it up, allows Webley back past.
Vince Dayton, another good battle also.
Yeah, that's
So
still going on. Yeah, a little bit
that
of
is
gap,
going
little bit
on.
of air gap between them.
Maddie T's in the mix there, but she's clearly a lap further down the road at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So Fernando actually currently holding the third position, yet to pit, J-Man, as is Maddie T.
No, but obviously with Webley having to deal with Macrolos and Co is going to play into the hands of the margin of Fernando. So I'll try and give you an idea. 30.
Because
Okay.
Dixon is yet to pit as well, J-Man, as we just see him rounding up Joe Grimmer.
Yeah, hey, look, by my calculations, Fernando may have enough
On Webley. Yeah.
on Webley here.
Yeah. No, that'll be an interesting battle towards the end of the race. Makalos, no doubt, will regain his composure after that little slip through one there, J-Man, and will regain that fight as well. So definitely one to watch. Dixon currently in 4th position. Spence losing a position, or has he? Dayton Spence.
Oh, side by
it's
side.
on.
Oh, great piece of driving from both. Who's that? That's Jacob Wadsworth out in
Yes,
the grass
as well.
And the back is shot.
The back is
It's
shot.
Hendo trying to unlap himself from Matty T. Shane Fodderdo to the lane.
So this one will be one to watch. Fodderdo v Webley, J-Man.
Yeah, he needs to do the 1%ers right. Hopefully he got it down to the speed limit. Hopefully he can stop it on the blocks accurately. Looks pretty good. Where is Webley? Okay, he's just come out of Stirling. Coming towards the final turn now. Where is Fodderdo's pit box? He's off the jacks. Webley rounding the final turn.
Oh, this is going to be
Fodderdo
close, J-Man.
coming out. It's going to be tighter for sure.
So Webley cleared of the control line there. And here it is.
And importantly, Shane gets out in front of Costas Makrolos and Cody Spence. Now, it was the Spence car that he battled with in the first part of the race, Davo.
Yep. So, yeah, Webley rounding up, Fodderdo there. But, yes, like you said, key point there in front of Makrolos and Spence.
Well, he can focus forward out on that Mustang and head down the road. I'll just get an update on that, what that looked like. So, Fodderdo with a 18-second stop versus 43 of Webley. So, Fodderdo looking for a quick stop there, maybe a refuel, and out of there.
Nice move from Dayton on Spence. Quick replay on that. Into Surtees nicely.
Yeah, nice move.
Yes, very nice.
Dixon to the pits. Okay, so Maverick also looking like he's done his stop, 32-second stop, 54 seconds outright, relinquishes the lead of this race provisionally to Matty T, deciding to run it very, very long. Now, does Matty go for a splash and dash here and try and make track position? I think Mav had enough anyway. It was plus 10 something.
Fodderdo very slippery out of one. Really feeling the temperature from Makrolos.
Yeah, so Makrolos doing a great job on these tyres. I agree, Stewie. I thought those tyres on that Fezzer would have started hurting by now, but I tell you what, still got a ton of pace on that car. What can we tell you about his last lap? Makrolos 26.1. So not bad pace. Really challenging with Shane Fodderdo right now. Shane needs to just absolutely do everything right at the moment because Costas is right there to have a go. Both of them drop a wheel in the dirty stuff.
They're trying. They are delivering nothing.
Drop down through Dingle Dow, heading up towards Sheen. Got to be accurate here. Going to grab enough curb, not too much.
And Fodderdo looking strong still, J-Man.
Yeah, dip down into Stirling.
Oh, Spence off track. Sorry, J-Man. We'll try and pick up a replay here. Spence. Oh, unforced. Allows Henderson pass and first, mind you. So unfortunate there for Spence.
Now I mentioned about Webley covering off Fodderdo earlier in the pit stop there. Done a good job. Now what I failed to mention is if I sold Webley a little bit short here and Matty's running long. Now Webley's stop, I can tell you, was 43 seconds. Now that'll come into play when we see Matty stop as to what shakes out to effectively be second or third between Matty and Brandon Webley, because Webley's got enough over Shane Fodderdo, who's battling with Costas Makrolos at the moment. So it's a battle of I believe the podium will be Maverick by a comfortable margin, but Matty and Brandon Webley, that is not done, Davo.
No, not at all, J-Man, as we see.
Pits. Why is Mossy in the pits?
I think that's it. Is that his pit stop?
No, he'd already stopped. Mossy
had
had
he?
already done
Okay.
a stop. He'd done about a 31-second stop. So, not
that's
sure what happened there.
okay.
It's unscheduled. Thanks, Stewie.
So
Yeah,
Moss going for another round of pit stops. J-Man. Oh, this is on.
Cost us Shane Fodderdo.
Frodado with a wheel on the grass on the exit of the final corner there. Very
He
close.
cuts across the nose. Full
So
faith
close.
and cost us ability just to maybe just lift that little bit more and allow that McLaren through. So,
Left it to the last second as we just pick up on a replay, J-Man.
yeah,
Wow,
beautiful bit of driving.
Very close. And nice work from both parties there, J-Man, to keep that together.
Yeah, stunning. Yeah, I'd be concerned at the moment as we see that beautiful move there. Oh,
Is
and it
Mossy out of
started
the
with that
pits
rub
there?
on the grub. Rub of the grass on the way up for Fodder.
definitely,
Yeah. So what's concerning me at the moment, mate, on my data is the fact that Maddie last lap round 26.2. Webley's lapping in the 24s, 24.9 last lap round. Best lap of the 24.2. Webley's got pace at the moment. That car is looking good at the back end of this race, and
But
I can guarantee, if we're talking to him later, that he'll be aware of what the number is he's running versus Maddie at the moment. So, viewers, the podium may be settled, but the order is not.
Yes, no, definitely not. Definitely not. But look, Webley with a few slip-ups after his pit stop. So, look, he really does need to hit some good, solid numbers. Maddie, without a mistake, really, yet in this race, and currently holding first position provisionally, but yet to stop.
And I tell you, a battle that's been there the whole race.
Makalos passed.
Round the outside.
Okay, here we go. Picking it up on the replay now. J-Man out of one. Oh, Fodderno with a big slip.
Yeah.
And Makalos easily round the outside. Fodderno really didn't want to let him go with it, though.
No, he wanted a challenge.
He definitely wanted to make him work for it. That is, who's that in the background there?
That's Pete Dawson, mate.
Out of position, Pete Dawson in the Bentley.
Yep. So, great battle still going on with Firthy and Hendo, Dixon. Dayton's just on the back still of this battle of Fodderno and Co. A little bit further back, but
yeah, so that battle there, that is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, respectively, with Dayton, Dixon, Henderson first. That's where is Spence in all that? Not too far behind, J-Man.
Yeah, he's just after that little bit of incident, he's a little bit further behind, but 24 odd minutes to go. How far does Maddie push this thing? I feel like she's going to run the absolute long stint. I'm not sure.
How's that times looking?
Okay, so I'll give you an update. The last lap time she's just run, which is now, was a 25.4. Webley's last lap time was a 25.4. I'll give you an update when he does cross the line about what he runs. So they're on level pace at the moment. However, his previous laps were significantly better, so making net gains there. And I wonder whether he's aware.
Henderson past Dixon. Oh, is he? Or is he? It's still on, J-Man. Oh, and here comes Firthy. Look at this.
He's got nowhere to go.
Bump drafts Dixon. And
He's
again,
up the inside. Oh, that was so tight. As they head up through Surtees, up the straight, heading to Pilgrim's Drop. And I tell you what, that's super, super tight. You can see Hendo having another look back through.
Well, he lost there to Firth. Dixon, man, that changed so quickly there. Yeah, that's a hot little fight going on there, Jamie.
That's a good battle going on there, for sure.
Oh, wheels in the air from Henderson.
Yeah,
over the curb.
Even Dixon was probably a little bit wider than he would have liked. And big dive to the inside from Hendo.
Is that too much from Henderson? Oh, really did himself no favours there, J-Man, losing a good 10 or more car lengths with that big look.
Dixon covering to the inside down to 1. Firthy just holding his line there. I think he's got these guys rattled at the moment. Some good pace late in the piece.
Oh, here we
Dives to the inside, shows the nose. Just to upset the rhythm of Will Dixon.
This is the battle on track at the moment, J-Man.
Yeah, and a great
Between
battle
these
with that
three.
too.
Yep.
They just dropped Hendo there, just a little bit of a mistake coming down the hill. Through Graham Hill there. But Firthy applying all the pressure at the minute, Davo.
Oh, isn't he what?
So Macrolos has managed to pull a bit of margin on Fotado since making that pass. So that was legitimate pace on what is pretty much a well-spent tyre.
It's not too bad, is it?
It's
I
very,
mean,
very good.
it
So
is.
it's a good
It
read.
really is.
Maddie still pressing on with the lap here. She's just tucked up in behind the likes of Matt Dayton. So that gives you an idea about how far through the field she's running without having made her stop.
Dixon covering into one, did himself no favours, that's allowed. Look, and Firthy wasn't even close.
He's having a big look up the inside
He
here.
is
Fight
now.
down there.
Hendo's like, I want a bit of that. He's tagged on the back now again.
Great patience and pressure from Nick Firth in this phase of the race. And we can't exactly remember where we saw Firthy qualify, but it wasn't, I don't believe, his best qualifying session. So he's raced forward very, very well tonight.
And been in the walls a little bit. So a good solid run. Even with a bit of a touch up here and there. But look, next cab off the rank will be Henderson. Dixon has got a mirror full of Hendo's Aston there now, J-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to give a bit of a shout out to Mav out there, currently running P2 with Maddie having not made her stop. Fastest lap of the race at a 23.870. Firthy off the track, gets all the hard work done and then throws it all away very, very quickly. Recovers well into the left-hander, which is Sterling, and makes his way heading down to the final corner just to save that.
Oh, just ran wide, no curve.
Yeah,
Lucky to keep Dixon out there, J-Man, really, as we just picked that up on that really quick replay there.
Yeah, it just shows you in an instant, you know, he did all the hard work and then undone it, or nearly undone it very, very quickly down in the back sector of the track there. So just got to be super, super accurate in these tricky conditions at the moment. But yeah, back to Maverick, 23.870, fastest lap of the race, and then also last lap round was a 24.3. So really, really. He's going all the way. Ooh, great question, Mr. Steve Rees. I thought there was. I thought there was a compulsory stop. You could... No, actually, you're right. We got green boxes, so there isn't one. So well spotted, Mr. Steve Rees. Good to see you tuning in, buddy.
I think there is, but the box... I don't know what's going on with our data tonight, J-Man. So...
Yep. Yeah, I thought there was compulsory fuel. I could have been wrong. But nonetheless, Maddie's out there banging the laps, and I'm just trying to get a read on this lap time. Ryan for Maddie was a 25.6. Webley's last lap time was a 25.3. So just really conscious about what that number is, because, you know, if Webley can make sort of 2-3 tenths every lap, we know that he had the pace to run with Maddie, and the gap wasn't that big. Discord says CPS is only for the 120-minute races.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
copy
there you
that,
go.
mate. Rightio. So, Maddie onto something here. What is the margin? Where is Maverick? Where is Maddie? Okay, so Maddie is... Okay, so she's just coming out of Surtees.
She's got 17.5 minutes to go on that rubber if she wants
We
to
just
go.
lost Maddie. We cursed her. Oh, my gosh.
Oh no, she's been having techie issues tonight, and there she goes.
Dear. It was a shame. I just saw her flash back to pits. What could have been? That is.
Oh, that's so
racing
unfortunate.
On the internet.
Oh, J-Man.
So that changes things. So Webley gets gifted P2. Costas effectively, when he comes back around, will start showing third on the timing board.
Now
will be fourth.
He's worked hard for that position, J-Man. Macrolos.
Well, yeah, look, it's still a gift as a podium because I think Matty had that sewn up. So I'm a bit torn there, but it is what it is. Third position, Costas Macrolos, you can see it there, 12.5 seconds up the road to Brandon Webley. Yep. So he has worked pretty hard for the margin. However, the position is probably a little bit of a gift at the moment.
So unfortunate stuff. You're still going to be in it to win it, J-Man. Like I mentioned, Costas actually working really hard to get his car into fourth position and now gifted that podium position, J-Man.
Yep.
Now still plenty going on in the background with Dixon v Henderson both in running the Astons this year as the Flames leg for the side of the 997 Dixon car as they run up towards Pilgrims and down the hill again here, J-Man. 47 laps in and a little over 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, and you know what it does too is it robs us of the unknown of what that would have looked like with the likes of Brandon Webley and Matty, because I think that was shaping up, which is a real shame. But nonetheless, mate, you've got to be there. You know, some of these things get taken out of your hands. Costas Macrolos, this could be an absolute night for you, my friend, where, you know, it could have been oh so different, because if we went back around about 40 minutes from here, I wouldn't have picked this car on the podium at all. Played a strategy call here with the fuel and the tyres and worked himself into track position. You mentioned he did have to work hard. For sure he did, with the likes of Shane Fodderdo. I think that was a legitimate battle that he had the upper hand on, and I was surprised by that. Other great performances too. I think Nick Firth.
Definitely.
Yep. Very, very good performance. Matt Dayton, from the start of the night when I first saw him turn a tyre in that McLaren, the official practice session, I thought, mate, they were the first laps he's run this week, because it didn't look good. He'll understand what I'm talking about, and then he certainly got everything hooked up and going in the right direction. Steve Crossland's going to root tonight, although he has worked very, very hard to come back to P14 of what was effectively last after that really early lap 1 incident, heading around the back out of Stirling and ended up with a whole load of damage. So great drive back from him as well. But look, still battles going on. Firthy, I don't think's given up on potentially a top 5 with hunting down Matt Dayton there. And from what I've seen out of Firthy tonight with the battle that he had with Dixie, Spence, and I think at the time was Nathan Henderson, I think he's good for it. Car looks good. Firthy looks good. Relishing his newfound fame up there playing in the Celebrity League.
Isn't he what? James, as the field spreads somewhat now.
Yeah, it has a bit. Just looking back. Mitchie Smith, far contrast from what we saw out of Mitchie Smith last week, was really engaged in some good battles with the likes of Jordan Moss and co.
Oh, yeah, and we just picked him up on a replay there just earlier, J-Man.
Yep.
Throwing it off, unforced, allowing Crossland past in the 43 Simblacks Honda, J-Man. So, yeah, just in a bit of a recovery mode now, in clear air, but, yeah, probably struggling with the conditions a little bit. I think we have everybody has made their stops Apart from Maddie, who just recently, why has Webley gone backwards? Webley has been in the wall.
Oh, that thing does not look good, and he is under immense pressure now from Shane Fodderday, and I don't think Shane's going to have to work too hard for this podium because the front of that Mustang is a sorry state.
It is beaten. It is well beaten, J-Man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can catch a replay on that or it was too far back, but that thing, look at Shane, he's just lining up. Webley's got nothing to fight with there.
Oh, so that's tough. So, look, and we thought that podium was set in stone, J-Man.
We did.
Clearly it wasn't.
And this is big because that's a car that's out of P2 in the championship. Now, two big names taken out of this thing tonight already, effectively. I mean, obviously, there's still just under 12 minutes to go, and we'll see what Brandon Webley can do with this thing. But Bryn Tracy out of P3, Matty T.
He's off track again, which has allowed Dayton Park. Is Firth going to be next? Firth is going to be next as he limps that car around the track, Damon. That is well beaten.
Oh, Matty, so sorry for your condolences, mate. You absolutely were having a stellar night. Give us a read, mate, if you will. I know this will be a tough time for you, but on what the strategy play was, looking like, you know, were you coming in to stop? Were you watching the margin on Webley? You had earned that. Really sad for you, mate. Yeah, look, this thing's got a big sting in the tail. It started with the loss of Matty T with a disco, and then obviously a big upset now with Webley in the wall.
And Webley's struggling with his car.
Oh, hey. Say it in here
Yeah. Jump in, Matty. Mate, condolences, mate. We were rooting for you. Were doing so well. Can you give us a read on what the strat was? And you look good. What was likely to play out?
I just had to splash like 5-6 litres.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the delta was to Maverick. I believe he took tyres. So I don't really know. I'm not sure of the data, but it's looking good. At least
it was.
Yeah, it would have been tight because even with I think, Matty, even with something like 5-6 litres, you'd have been somewhere between 6 and 8 seconds. Yep. With a total trundle time of about 30 odd seconds for the lane, and I think he was about 31 seconds on the stop. I think he had plus 10 or something around that on you, so it was going to be tight, mate. And I think what we saw out of Macrolos is the tyre could survive here. In these conditions, so I think you're on the right strategy, and we saw you with those tech difficulties at the start of the night, Matty, so it's obviously just played on from that.
Yeah, just internet's been cutting all night. I'm lucky I got that far, to be honest. So,
hey, look, if it's any consolation, poor old Webley is dropping like a stone at the moment as well. He was a guy that, championship-wise, early in the piece, obviously it's early days, Matty, so if you're going to have one of these bad results, it's good to get it out the way with.
Oh, yes.
Drop round and all.
My best track, though. I don't think it's going to get this good again. But,
oh, look, you've turned up for season 6 looking super, super fast, Matty, so you got to keep your chin up, mate, and come back fighting and try and put this one behind you next week. The interesting thing will be on what the situation here is at Rainlight is in respect of time completed versus will you get anything out of this?
Yeah, not sure, we'll see, but it's all good. It's a fun race anyway, and I'll leave you guys to it.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, appreciate the chat, Matty, and condolences, mate. You're doing so well.
Thanks, Madison.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Awesome. Matty T, everyone. Oh, really licking her wounds there after an internet failure. Putting her out of the race, and it was looking solid, just with an insight to her strategy, Jamie. Was really lining up for a race win there.
Yeah, hey, look, I think, you know, I love the confidence, I love the belief. I think, you know, much like real race drivers, I think sim races we often talk about on our broadcast, it's a confidence game, and, you know, look, if you're feeling it, you're feeling it, and look, Matty looked really, really good. You know, I was obviously talking about, not without knowing what the strategy was, was she doing enough to cover off Webley? Well, clearly, I think at that point she was, based on the fact that she was going for a splash and dash, and then really looking forward to Maverick. So I entertain that that mental psyche. I think, you know, look forward, not backwards. So
yeah, definitely, James. And now look how things can so quickly change with Webley limping a very busted Mustang home and dropping positions. And Prune Tracy on his way. He'll be looking to catch that as Prune Tracy out of search and Webley just running down off the drop there now. So look, we've got what, nearly 7 minutes to go. Webley could drop another position here, J-Man.
Yeah, he could, and I'm pretty sure. So this is he's just battling at the moment just to bring this thing home. I'm pretty sure I just saw 777 clearing his drive through. So, Webley off again.
Yeah, no, that car is not well.
Yeah, 777 drive through cleared. So that's Jordan Moss having a real tough go at it tonight. Not something we'd come to expect out of Geordie the Boss Moss.
No, definitely not, as we see Firth working over the back of Dayton now. And that
Dayton
is
working over the back of Fotterdo,
That is
mate.
Fotterdo. So that is third
podium
position.
is not sold.
The podium is definitely not side sealed or delivered. Oh, these three at it again, J-Man.
I think Firth.
Here we go, Dayton. Dayton gets a wriggle out of Surtees.
I tell you what, he's got good overlap here.
He's got it. Nice work from Firth. Made it happen.
Yeah, beautiful. Opportunistic, but you've got to be there. Yeah, not to forget from Mossy, but I'll tell you what, I will be interested to know whether we get to interview him on the podium or not, how many positions that this 56 McLaren of Nick Firth has made tonight.
It's a stellar job, J-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Dayton and Fotterdo both will come out of tonight, irrespective of whether they make the podium or not, just having an absolute blinder because, look, these variable conditions have really suited the racing of these boys tonight.
Oh no!
Unfortunate. Yeah, just missed the brake mark. Tags Firthy into one. Firthy gets it going again. Where is Hendo? Hendo's tipping it into turn one. He's probably going to come in with enough pace to try and get Dayton here.
That's a shame. Dayton clearly missing his marker there, J-Man.
Yeah, and that's probably robbed Firthy of an opportunity.
Yeah, with 4.5 minutes to go, that's left. Now Fotterdo coming up out of Surtees, heading towards Pilgrims or Firth. Now just getting out of Surtees himself. So, no, J-Man.
It is
crazy stuff going on as we start winding down to the end of this. Henderson now on Dayton. Henderson looking for the outside.
Yeah.
Gets the.
He's going to get it.
He's got it done.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to get any easier because next cab off the rank will be Will Dixon coming. So it's a rhythm thing, and I think Dayton's fully out of rhythm at the moment.
Look, and Dayton's car damaged, J-Man. Now you can see the bonnet up. I'm just wondering whether it's got a bit of front aero damage.
Well, it's been like that most of the race, mate.
Well,
so.
but then it's just touching up the back of it might have just combated that a little bit more. And like you said, Dixon in the background. Who is that? You can see that is Spence in the background flashing the headlights as he rounds some lap traffic. But Dayton looking vulnerable, J-Man.
Yeah, I think Dixie's going to have a good go here with only 3.5 minutes to go.
He'd be silly not to.
And who was that? Okay.
Spence
So
in the background.
Yep. Yeah.
Plenty going on as we wind down the final 3 minutes here. Hasn't the dynamic of this race changed so much?
With everything that's gone on, mate, like I've just got to pick on it again, and we don't talk about this guy a lot because he's out there racing in another postcode. He's looking to go to the next race circuit, but 52.7 seconds up the road from Costas Makalos is Maverick. So, you know, you've got to just tip your hat to the drive, the consistency. Last lap round 24.6, the consistency of Maverick.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know where he's lapped back to. It must be, bloody hell. back
It'll be a long way.
back to 11th or 12th position or something. I'm not sure exactly where he's sitting at the moment. So,
Yep.
a little over 2 minutes to run, ladies and gentlemen. As it looked like a vulnerable Matt Dayton fends off.
I
Will
think he's
Dixon
still
in the
vulnerable
Aston.
here, mate.
Oh, I totally agree, J-Man. Now Hendo, who has had an up and down race. Here we go. Shows the
Dixie
nose
looks
again.
to the inside.
And just that little look can break the concentration of the driver in front. We've seen it a couple of times here tonight.
And look at the background. Tony Spence.
Yeah.
Off
Yep.
just such a stellar drive tonight. Opening stint was mega. Pitted the car from P4 tonight, officially. So that wasn't, that was all earned. And then still finds himself P8 at the moment. So great drive as we see.
Good run
Dixon
off.
with a good run once again.
Oh, yeah, but Dayton covers again that inside. And they make this happen this time. Oh.
Yeah, rounds it up,
Oh,
round down.
has
A
he
little bit
done
too
it?
wide for Dixie.
Oh, Spence, though.
Spence is going to grab him here.
Here it goes.
Presence of mind to be there. He
Oh,
runs a little bit
Spence
wide.
runs.
Dixon's going to get it back.
Oh, this is not over yet. Look, we're in the last minute. These
Yeah,
guys are going at it.
So I think we're effectively going to see one more lap after this because Maverick is heading down to the final corner with around about 40 odd seconds to go. So we're going to see one more.
So that puts him in behind Spence.
Rightio.
Yeah. So he's lapped all the way to
P8.
Yes.
Yep.
Well. And there is a ding-dong going on just in front of him here as well. Spence v. Dixon as we wind down. Mav on the final lap. You can see him in the background now. He's catching these guys quickly.
So just trying to see Webley managed to drop back. He's dropped back to 10th. Now we've got a late pit stop there too from
Wadsworth.
Jacob Wadsworth as well. So it's going to drop him back a little bit too. So maybe a bit of a net gain there for Steve Crossland and potentially Worcester and Co. I think we'll get him. So huge drive tonight from Costas Macrolos up to P2. Obviously the loss of Matty T helped that out a little bit, but nonetheless he still earned it with a mega drive. Fodado also, who was that I just saw? So that's okay, so that's Fodado just lapping Jordan Moss, and we have had the lead across the line for the race win. Maverick, such a long way ahead, it took me a little bit to look back up the road.
Yeah, so Mav wrapping it up there for round two at a very wet Brands Hatch in Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 season. Macrolos coming around the back section of the circuit. Mav with such a dominant performance, like they'll have that thing on the trailer by the time Macrolos gets across the line. Here, J-Man. Like you said, stunning effort from Macrolos to claw his way through the field in that Ferrari. Fodado still running through. Oh, that's a bit of lap traffic there, actually. I thought that might have been.
Jordan Moss tucked in behind there,
yeah,
mate.
yep.
So not something we'd come to expect from Mossy. So is that a night to probably forget?
So Fodado rounding the final corner.
Macrolos across the line.
Macrolos taking a second position. Fodado across. Where is Firthy? Not that far behind. J-Man.
No, he was definitely in it. If it hadn't been the touch-up between himself and I think at the time...
Henderson in fifth. Dixon sixth. Tony Spence seventh. Tracy eighth. Webley.
So did we lose Matt Dayton late, did we? I feel like we lost Matt Dayton to...
So,
P12. Yeah, not sure what happened there.
okay,
Not
we'll
sure.
just let our leaderboard here shuffle just a little bit, but yeah, and it's actually still shuffling just on my page here as well. So Mav, Makalos, Fodado, Henderson, Dixon. Yes, we did lose him, J-Man. Dixon, Tracy in 6th. Webberley 7th. Oh man, I can't even believe we got that thing back in 7th. Kim, Wadsworth, Worcester. I'm not sure whether those are actually correct, J-Man. I'm sure.
Nonetheless, yeah, I mean,
Yep.
they'll all shake out and we'll be able to give you a really good,
Okay.
accurate update on those. However, we have got something special tonight.
Yes, what we do know is that Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Season 6 is sponsored by Simblacks. There is giveaways, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, the GT Neo wheel spin at the end of the series. Anybody could win. Back at top of the field, bottom of the field, anyone. We will be spinning a wheel for this. But every week, the boys here at Rainlight Racing, thanks to Simblacks, are giving away $50 Visa Prezi cards. And what do we do when we give one of these away? Say, man, we've got to spin the wheel. And that's what we're going to do right now. So let me bring up a little bit of graphic here. There we are. There is the wheel, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here we go.
So, live wheel spin. This is for $50. Once you've won it, you get wiped off the wheel. Who got it last week? Worcester, I think it was. Or Wadsworth.
I think it was.
Yeah, here we go. Where's she going to fall? Where's she going to fall? Joshy Nightingale, J-Man, is the winner this week for the $50 Prezi gift card. Thanks to Simblacks. Thanks, Joshy.
Well done, Josh. Well done, mate.
So, nice work from, obviously, Simblacks and Rainlight Racing, and well done to Josh Nightingale tonight, winning the $50 giveaway. J-Man. Now, we need to talk to some people.
Okay. All right, so first cab off the rank tonight will be Mr. Shane Fodderno. Where is Slambo? Where is he? We'll try and find him. There he is. I got him, Davo. I'm going to grab him.
We got him.
Yeah, and we'll grab him down. And just a mega night for this guy. Shane, give us a recap, mate, on that night of racing for yourself, mate. P3, congratulations. How did it play out for you, mate?
I'm still wondering how I got there, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that, to be fair, far out.
So you obviously remember the battles with yourself trying to get Tony Spence before the pit stops, and obviously there was the Dayton battles, there was the Dixon battles, mate. I mean, was there a battle you weren't involved in tonight?
Oh man, that was the hardest race ever. I'm sweating, man. Like, that was so good. Just enjoyed that. Sort of late in that stint, I decided I wasn't going to take tyres. I was going to, but I was still trucking along all right. And then at the last 20 minutes, had pressure loss. I was struggling. If those two behind me didn't come together, I would have had my hands full.
And so what do you attribute the pressure loss to? Was that just picking up some inside curbs down Hawthorne Hill, or what was the story there? Where were you catching that pressure loss?
I actually got it after the last corner coming onto the straight. One of the laps, must have been that curb. Yeah, it was a handful. Had severe graining. Tyre wear was down to 1.2 or something.
Well, we get to call you a bit, mate, with the broadcast, and I tell you what, it's becoming synonymous with Shane Fodderno that you either get going sideways or succeeding, mate, or both. So another really successful night. Obviously, turned up here tonight. Decided to give that McLaren a good go. So well done. well done on the effort, mate. And look, the cards fell a little bit. Matty T obviously lost a little bit thing there, but your eyes were lit up when you saw the beat up Mustang of Brandon Webley on the way past, Shano.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering what happened to Maddie, and then I was like, and then I saw Webley. I was like, oh shit, I can get a podium here. And then
Yep.
I saw how fast the boys behind me were catching, and I was sweating, man. Like, and then when they came together, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it just took all the pressure off. Just cruised home.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it.
Definitely. Nice work, mate.
Good work, Shano, mate. Congratulations.
Hard fought, mate. Congrats.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, mate. Looking forward to seeing more of Shane Fodderdo in the series. Hopefully you're here for the long haul, mate.
We'll be. Yep, I'll do a little bit more practice next time.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Good to hear from our end, but maybe not good for the other drivers. So good work, mate. We will talk to you again next week, I hope.
Well done, Shano. Good work, buddy. Really enjoyed watching you go to work tonight, and yeah, enjoy that one. That was well earned.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Shane. Shane Fodderdo, everyone.
And the next drive, got to give it to this guy. Was an absolute dogfight out there. Costas, you got us on channel, mate?
I gotcha, buddy.
Mate, that, like, you absolutely earned that drive. You threw it out on a limb, pit stopped early to do the splash and dash. Mate, how much tyre was left on that car at the end?
Quite a bit, actually. Like, I didn't really notice too much in the car from start to end, really. It just held the tyres really well.
Must be a Ferrari thing.
Yeah, lots of big battles along the way, mate. Like, seriously, with about 40 odd minutes to go to the end, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I'm a fan. We've obviously watched you for a couple of seasons now, and we know the ability that you've got. But to be honest, wouldn't have picked that car being a podium car early in the piece, mate, because you were really in the thick of it. But you just really ground that one out. And obviously, we lost Matty T there in the piece, but nonetheless, you still had to go and take that one from Shano. And then, like Shano, your eyes would have lit up when Webley put that thing in the wall, and you got that position as well. But you earned every one of them tonight.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, just I knew it didn't have the one lap pace to keep up with all of them here, but I just thought, splash and dash, get out of the traffic and see what I could do.
Yeah.
Well, it clearly worked.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff, mate. And hey, look, that's a great way to kick off the second round. You came into this one after the first round and P6. Obviously, everybody in front of you, other than Maverick, you did a better job then tonight. So you're going to see yourself move up in the series. It's a great way to start your campaign here for season 6, mate. You're looking good.
Yeah, pretty happy with this way I'm starting this year. Let's just keep it going.
Go the Gatorade, mate. Well done.
Definitely.
Costas Makros, really enjoyed the entertaining drive you put on tonight, mate. Enjoy that one, and no doubt we'll be talking again soon.
Thanks, fellas. Keep up the good work.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, you. Mate. That's Costas out of position 2. And we'll see if we can just quickly bust in amongst the reporters and everybody trying to get this guy's celebrity status. He's probably on his way to the next racetrack. Mav, you got us on board?
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, mate, like I just keep wondering every week, can you make it look any easier? Trying conditions and, mate, still banking low 24s at the back end of that race. That thing looks so hooked up, Mav, at the hands of yourself.
Yeah, that Honda, she goes all right, I reckon.
And lapped up to, I think, around about P8 overall, Mav. I think you'd have probably been looking for those milestones through that race because there wasn't a lot else happening in front of you, mate.
Yeah, I think I was just racing the clock in the end, but it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. It was had a few moments. So yeah, it was just a bit of concentration, lapsing, but it was good fun.
Yeah, and can you give us an insight, mate? Obviously, we're looking for stuff that may have been on your mind during that race. We saw Costas Makros actually do that really quick splash and dash. Heard from Matty T, came down and had a chat to us after a disconnection, saying that she was looking at something like, anything from a 6 to an 8 second stop to splash the gas and go again. And given the fact that you did I think around about a 31-second stationary there, Mav. Was that at all a concern, or you were double digits at that point? Was that ever a factor, worrying about Maddie doing a splash and dash?
It occurred to me. I wasn't sure, but I just thought put a new set of tires on because I was starting to feel the drop off a little bit, and I just wanted the extra grip. So, but yeah, I saw Maddie come in, and then I saw her get disconnected, and I thought, oh no. So then the pressure was off. So yeah, I wasn't sure what she was going to do.
Yep.
So yeah.
And a big
shaping up to be a close one, that's for sure, mate. Just at our end, just looking at the data. So unlucky for her, but
yeah, it would have been very close. I think if she probably would have come out in front, but then
you would have had a tire underneath you.
Yeah, correct. So it would have made for a good ending.
Yep.
And a mega pole lap too, mate. I got to add too, because obviously we saw official practice. It looked pretty tight as far as the times. Hovering around that sort of, I think 23.7, 23, ish, and then really went out there, banked a nice one in quali, and then really stomped the authority at the back end there. Mav, were you surprised by the time that it delivered in those conditions, or you sort of knew you had it from the deltas?
It was a bit foreign territory with the greasy track, so I had no idea what time was good, what wasn't good. But the grip was reasonably there, and I wasn't sure what everyone else was going to do. So yeah, I was pretty happy in the end. It was just a little bit of a push. Try not to make any mistakes, but yeah, could have gone south pretty quick. I think just one little turn and one little curb, and it would have been all over.
Yeah, and look, great job tonight from yourself and the rest of the field and the admins here to get this thing underway with what was a trying start to this race, Mav. But couldn't help but think on the, I guess, the formation, trying to get the grid order sorted on that first unofficial formation lap and then get going again. And I couldn't help but think that, were the tyres in the right phase at that point? Because realistically, you only got probably a half of a decent cycle lap up at best once you guys got going. So was that a factor?
Yeah, I think I suggested to do it an additional lap just for that reason. So the tyres were very low and blue, and just threw it out there. Most people were like, yep, do another lap. So that kind of helped, I think, because I could imagine turn one would have been just a nightmare for most people in the pack. So just did that one extra outlap. Helped a bit with the brakes and the tyres, and I think most people, actually I'm not really sure what happened, but hopefully most people had the brakes under them. So
look, if it was status quo on last week, you'd have grown the lead by another 7 points. However, it's actually going to be different than that because Kostas Makrolos out of P6 last week goes P2 this week. You've back-to-back first position again. So top of the table, so you'll extend that lead into round 3 comfortably as well, obviously with the loss of Matty T and then Brandon Webley dropping like a stone at the back end after some late damage, and Prune Tracy just not finding the mark tonight in his car. So great result, mate, and look, started out season 6 very, very strong, as we'd expect. So very, very entertaining seeing the lap times. I mean, Davo will tell you, I was constantly double checking back in on Mav, wasn't I, Davo? Just sort of seeing where is at, because I'm always interested to see A, your consistency, and B, the drop off. And there was minimal. You talk about, you put that new tyre on because you could feel the dig. I certainly couldn't see it, Mav. It was sporadic at best. If it did fall off, it didn't get.
It was a bit hard to tell too, because there was a few back markers, and sometimes you try to put in a good lap in, but then you'd lose, half a second or something, and you're like, wonder what lap time that would have been, and then you get a clean lap, and then sometimes you're not ready for it. You need like 2 or 3 laps to get the tyres optimal. So it was tough to put a good lap in consistently, I'd say.
You did a great job once again, Maverick. Appreciate the time you take to talk to us, mate. We really do. And got that Red Bull number 3 Honda on the top step again. So well done, mate. And no doubt we'll be having a chat to you this time next week. Love your work, buddy.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Mav. Feel that tune, everyone. Okay, Mav, J-Man, what a cracking race that was. Plenty going on right down to the final lap. Those guys, they were still at it. So a little bit of an awkward start, obviously, with some technical issues. But yeah, look, as soon as the green flag went,
can I just take a moment, Davo, just to grab a guy that probably feels a little bit hard done by at the moment, but still worthy of a chat, just to give him a bit of pumpers, put some air back in the tyres, which are probably a little deflated after the back end of that race. And it is Nick Firth. And I just wanted a quick shout out to Firthy based on the fact that, look, great drive, Firthy. You were in with a shot, I believe, of a podium opportunity. A little bit of contact at the back end, mate. I hope your chin's up because you got a lot to be proud of after that drive, mate.
Thanks, lads. That was definitely a hard one to take, but I finished in 4th place, and that's well beyond what I anticipated for that race. So, and I, just shout out to Dayton as well. I know he's a solid driver. I know he didn't mean it. He apologized immediately. So, still hurts. But at the end of the day, that's racing. So it's a very hard one to take though, because I knew I was like the McLaren, like I changed my tires. I'm not sure others did because they looked like sitting ducks to me. So
some did, some didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I was some in front of me. I was, I knew I was like, almost half a second to a second a lap quicker. So I was like feeling real gripped up, really fast in all the corners, and unfortunately, like T1 was probably one of the corners where I was feeling probably stronger than some of the drivers around me. Like I was hitting it hard, and as soon as the car came over the crest and you felt the weight shift and you pump the accelerator and hook in as it compresses into the dip, like I was just getting really good power all through there. And I thought I was, that's what I was trying to do with Shane out in front of me. I knew I had him lined up, and then out of nowhere, just a big shunt from behind. And lucky probably Shane didn't get hit too, to be honest, because I was not giving him too much space. I was letting him know I was there because I wanted to size him up on T2 and just keep pushing him, because I knew he looked like he was struggling for grip big time.
Yeah. I just wonder whether he'd taken a tyre, or not.
Yeah, I think he mentioned to me that he hadn't taken tyres, and I think he might have had a like a pressure loss in the front right or something. So he was struggling.
Yeah, we're suffering from a bit of deflation from the final turn, as he mentioned. But hey, nonetheless, mate, like what can you just refresh my memory? What was the quali position? What was the starting position, 30?
I can't remember. I think I was like 16th or
so
something like that. So
you'd have to be proud of the drive, mate. And I can't help but think, mate, since that, obviously we've watched you now, Matchfit's been a part of broadcasting for Rainlight Racing for a little bit now, and we've watched the rise of Nick Firth, and look, you've really taken to the red carpet, mate. Your celebrity status is quite fitting at the moment, and mate,
I like to throw a few good overtakes in there, a few little battles, and a little, clinch your butt cheek sort of moments. There was definitely a couple of those towards the end there. I think the overtake on the outside when
at Hawthorns, mate, before Dingle was a beautiful move. Yeah,
I was watching my proximity map and checking my mirrors the entire time, but I felt confident that I was good on the brakes there, so that was nice and clean, I felt. But I just want to reiterate to Dayton, I just don't want him to feel bad about that. I've been on the other end where I've done the bump on someone, and it is what it is. He did the right thing, and that's what racing's about. So he made a mistake, called it out, and he's a quality driver, so I want him to do well next race too. So
Yeah, so if you're listening, Matty, really what he's saying is watch your back, mate. He's got your turn 1 next race. No, I'm just joking, Bertie. I'm picking up what you're laying down, mate. It's all good, mate.
Exactly.
Such is racing, mate. It is what it is. And but look, it was just the opportunity, as I did mention last week with the drive that we saw Crossy out of 16th up to 7th. Yourself tonight, 16th to 4th, I think is a very, it's, not everyone makes the podium. However, there's times that we want to just pump your tyres up and say, hey, mate, what
I
a
could
great
taste
drive.
it, boys. I could taste it. I was ready for it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, some prosciutto to wash down the burgers would have been great, mate. But hey, next week's another week. We appreciate the time you take to talk to us, Firthy, mate. Love your work.
Thank you, lads. Thank you for what you do too. See ya.
Cheers.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. Cheers, Nick. All right, Davo. Well, thank you, viewers. I will let my boss, my good mate here, wrap this show up and pay some bills. And we do appreciate all the support we get for these streams. We really do. I'll sign out. Thank you very much, Davo.
Yes, thanks, J-Man. That is a wrap on Rainlight Racing's, the coverage of Rainlight Racing's round 3 in their 2024 GT3 Series 6 here at a very wet Brands Hatch. Cracking racing all the way to the end. Obviously, proudly brought to you by Simblacks with some great giveaways, as we've mentioned a few times already in the broadcast, with the GT Neo at the end of the series, and obviously the spin the wheel for the $50 gift cards at the end of the race. Next week, we are at Silverstone for one of the sprint races, actually, J-Man. This is a short, quick fire 60-minute race. Again, no compulsory pit stop. So that's going to be a cracker before we're back off to Snetterton for a 120-minute race. But we must thank again Rainlight Racing, Simblacks, CrossCUT Woodworks, True to Life Racing, Crossy 43 and Hendo, and of course Matchfit Entertainment for delivering the goodness again tonight. Tune in, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and tune in next week. Look, Matchfit's got plenty going on, so definitely subscribe to the channel so you can, watch all the other communities we are streaming for. J-Man, that's it for tonight. See you all next week at Silverstone. Bye for now.
Bye now.